Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Solo Survivor. Azir test number 11 APSC Combined Competitive Examinations Prelims 2026 or General Studies Paper 1 or so question number 1. With reference to the LASIT L1 satellite launched in January 2026, consider the following statements. It is the first satellite developed entirely by a university in Northeast India. Yes. Don Bosco, Assam Don Bosco University. The satellite was launched using ISRO's small satellite launch vehicle, that is D3. D3 to nasile C61 C62 asile C62 hasile to nobo. Its primary mission as its primary mission objective includes real-time plot mapping and landscape monitoring. It probably 1 and 3 are correct. B. Yes, B is the correct answer. কিছুমানে ভাবি আছে কিজানি মই এনসাৰবিলাক আগতে চাই লওঁ, সেনেকুৱা নহয় দেই বন্ধুসকল, বিশ্বাস কৰক। আপোনালোকে মোৰ হেৰিবিলাক ভালদৰে যদি চাই মোৰ মানে কেনেকৈ এনালাইজ কৰোঁ বা কিবা সেইবিলাক তেতিয়া বুজি পাব। মই ইয়াতে এনসাৰবিলাক নাচাওঁ, জাষ্ট যেতিয়া মই এডিট কৰিলেও মই এনসাৰকেইটা নাচাওঁ, আৰু সেইটো সময় নাথাকে এনসাৰকেইটা চাবৰ কাৰণে। Explanation 1 is correct. LASIT 1 was launched by Assam Don Bosco University, making it a historic first for the Northeast region's space capability. Meghalaya Umiamot আছে আৰু এটা মানে এনেকুৱা স্পেচ হেৰিৰ কাৰণে ৰিচাৰ্চ এটা কিবা এটা আছে ইনষ্টিটিউশ্যন নিচিনা। It was launched abroad. ISRO's PSLV C62 এইটোহে ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিছিলে, not SSLV. ISRO's PSLV. 3 to correct. Given Assam's geography, the satellite is equipped with sensors specifically designed for disaster management, particularly floods and landslides. Question number 2. The Mukhyamantri Nijut Babu Asuni announced in the 25-26 Assam budget is a scheme specifically targeted at Nijut Babu Asuni, no? Providing interest-free home loans to monthly financial stipends for male students in higher education to reduce dropout rates. One-time grants for rural to ensuring nutritional security, that is B. B is the correct answer. Yes. To sobe jane nutun ke olaise Nijut Moina Asunir likhiage. Successful Nijut Moina scheme for girls. The Assam government launched Nijut Babu Asuni starting from February 1st, 2026. February 1st. It provides monthly stipends of 1,000 for undergraduate and 2,000 for postgraduate male students in government institutions to ensure they don't drop out due to financial constraints. Private institution belong nedie. UG 1,000, PG 2,000. Okay. Question 3. Consider the following peers regarding the proposed new districts or administrative units of Assam as of 25-26. New district or administrative units. Okay. 25-26. Sribhumi formerly new district administrative unit question. Sribhumi formerly Karimganj district eto hoy asile kintu eto heri kurbachina correctly matched keketa correctly matches na new Behali to a newly formed district carved out of Behali to no hoy kod Biswanathar pora notun district গঠন কৰিছে নেকি? I don't think so. Bojali reinstated as a full-fledged district. Bojali to district হয় কিন্তু এইটো হয় 1 and 3 are correct. But বেহালি নামৰ কোনো ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্টটো ওলোৱা নাই বিশ্বনাথৰ পৰা. Okay, 1 and 3 correct. Yes, 1 and 3 correct. B is the correct answer. Let 24, the government officially renamed Karimganj as Sribhumi, inspired by Rabindranath Tagore's in description. While Behali is a key legislative constituency, whereby it has not been declared a separate district in the recent reorganization. It remains part of Biswanath. Okay, Bozali was restored as a full-fledged district after being temporarily merged during the delimitation exercise. Okay. Question 4. The Bon Mitra Abhijan, a flagship initiative of the Assam Environment. Okay. Um, okay. Record who has an answer. So, Bon Mitra Abhijan, a flagship initiative of the Assam Environment and Forest Department, 25-26, focuses on Bon Mitra Abhijan. I think elephants or whatever. Planning 10 crore saplings across the state using a geotagging mobile app, creating a dedicated force of local youth to mitigate human-elephant conflict, legalize small-scale chain mining in Brahmaputra territories, converting all degraded forest lands into commercial tea estates. এটাতো হ'ব নোৱাৰে, so only B is the Ban Mitra Abhijan. Some environment forest planting 10 crore saplings. এইটোও হোৱা নিচিনা লাগে, but এইটোতো বন মিত্ৰ অভিযান এলিফেণ্টৰ লগতে হ'ব নেকি? Creating a dedicated force of land local youth to mitigate human geotagging mobile app ব্যৱহাৰ কৰি কিনে. I don't think that is correct. So B should be the correct answer. B. Yes, B came to be the correct answer. Okay. This is it's EC. Human elephant conflict. Okay. Reached record levels in 25. বহুত বেছি হৈছে ন. Bon Mitra is a community-led initiative where local friends of the forest are trained. Community-led initiative আৰু না লোকেল মানুহবিলাক ন, যিটো লোকেল পৰিৱেশতে এলিফেণ্ট কনফ্লিক্ট হয় ন. They are trained and equipped to assist the forest department in tracking elephant. ইহঁতৰ মানে এলিফেণ্ট ট্ৰেকিঙৰ হেৰি আছে যেনিবা ন, মানে কিবা কিবি মেকানিজম আছে. Elephant hearts and elephant heartত কিবা হেৰি কৰে আৰু ট্ৰেকিঙৰ কাৰণে যিটো জাক থাকে. Preventing conflict through early warning systems. Okay, হাতী আহিলে যেনিবা অলপ ৱাৰ্ণিং দিয়াৰ কাৰণে হেৰি কৰে আৰু এইবিলাকে. আমাৰ ইয়াতে নাইচোন, আমি নিজেহে দেখোন বেছিভাগ কনফ্লিক্টেড এৰিয়াত বোলো ন, আমাৰ তাত মাজে মাজে হয়. আমি ৰাইজে ওলাই কিনে হেৰি কৰোঁ আৰু সেইফালে ৰাস্তাটো দেখুৱাই দিওঁ নিচিনা বাধা দিওঁ কেতিয়াবা. Which of the following committees was recently in the news for its recommendations regarding the implementation of Clause 6 of the Assam Accord? Clause 6 of the Assam Accord recommendation. Justice Biplab Kumar Sharma Committee regarding implementation of Clause 6. Biplab Kumar Sharma to APSC কেলেংকাৰীৰ লগতহে কমিটিটো. Justice Ujjal Bhuya Committee, HR Brahma Committee, Madhav Menon Committee. 3 CND, I don't think these are correct. Clause 6 or kiba ase moi hetu nazano. Ujjal Bhuya Committee. Etuke di diu de etue newsot huni asu APSC. Baki nazano hobo lage hole hol nole nai. Yeah, it came to be correct. The Justice Biplab Kumar Sharma Committee submitted its report on providing constitutional, legislative, and administrative safeguards to the Assamese people. The constitutional, legislative, and administrative safeguards to the Assamese people in the late 25, early 26 The state government moved to implement several of its 67 recommendations that fall under the state's jurisdiction. Okay, man ভালকে নাজানো কি আছে. Okay. Question 6. In the context of the Indian economy, agglomeration economics often discussed in the 2026 Indian Union budget refers to agglomeration economics kiba Portman recent or recent topic. The process of merging loss-making public sector undertakings, benefits derived by farms and people when they locate near east, other in cities and industrial clusters, the accumulation of foreign exchange reserves to establish the rupee agglomeration economies. The situation with the fiscal deficit exceeds the revenue often discussed 26 union budget. Oh, union budget or logo to Portman it lot related ho no a situation where the fiscal deficit exceeds the revenue deficit. Fiscal deficit এইটোতো হ'ব লাগে ডিটো হ'ব লাগে দেই মোৰ মতে situation no agglomeration economics to the process of merging making public sector undertakings loss making public sector benefits derived by farms and people when they locate near each other in cities and এইটোতো নহ'ব the accumulation of foreign exchange reserves to stabilize the rupee. I think D হলে হল নহলে নহয় D নহলে A হল হৈ কি জানিবা but I will go agglomeration economics. Agglomerate means what? As so where the fiscal deficit exceeds the revenue. The process of making loss-making public things. The process of merging loss-making public sector undertakings. Merge কৰি দিছে নেকি এইটো হ'ব লাগে দেই merge কৰি দিয়া যেনেকৈ হেৰিবিলাক নতুনকৈ যোৰহাটত হেৰি খুলিছে semiconductor. The farms people where they locate near each other in cities and industrial sector. Benefits derived by farms and people when they locate near each other cities and industrial clusters. And I don't take consent from actions. It don't know A or B হ'ব লাগে দেই agglomerate means economics loss making public benefits derived to A হ'ব oh sorry B হৈ গ'ল so incorrect হ'ল এইটো agglomeration that is means economics is benefits derived by farms and the people when they locate near each other in cities and in industrial clusters. Okay. Benefits derived. Okay. As India pushes for urban reforms 2.0 in 26, the focus is on agglomeration economies, the productivity gains, shared labor pools, and reduced transport costs that occur when industries cluster together. Okay. The semiconductor cluster in Gujarat or the electronics hub in Tamil Nadu. বস্তুটো ইমান ভালদৰে বুজি পোৱা নাছিলোঁ. Okay, agglomeration benefits derived by farms and people when they locate near each other in cities and industrial clusters. Okay. Farms and people বিলাকে benefit বিলাক carry কৰে আৰু ন exchange কৰাৰ নিচিনা হ'ব নেকি exchange মানে share কৰাৰ নিচিনা হ'ব নেকি they locate near each other in cities and industrial clusters. মানে ভাল লোকেশ্যনত আৰু না লোকেশ্যনত যোনটো ধৰ মৰিগাঁৱত semiconductor খুলিছে productivity gains shared labor মানে cooperation হ'ব আৰু ন cooperative mechanismটো ভাল হ'ব সেইকাৰণে ওচৰ ক্লজ কানেকশ্যন য'ত সুবিধা হয় তাৰ সেই লোকেশ্যনত হেৰি কৰে আৰু ন transport costs that occur when industry is clustered together একেলগে যেতিয়া কাম কৰে ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰীবিলাক দুটা তিনিটা ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰী মিলি semiconductor cluster in Gujarat or the electronics hub in Tamil Nadu. Yes, that is called agglomeration industry economy. এনেকৈ আগবাঢ়ি যায় আৰু অলপ সুবিধা হয় কাৰণে the Arundhati Goal Scheme 2.0 of Assam has been updated in 2026 to include which new condition goal scheme. Bride must have a minimum educational qualification of a postgraduate degree. The marriage must be registered under the Special Marriage Act only. The only they say only hole to no, I think. The benefit is now linked to the Nijadmaina restoration status of the girl. The annual family income of the bride's parents must be less than 5 lakh. Has been updated in 2026 to include which new condition must be registered under the Special Marriage Act only. The bride must have a minimum educational qualification, postgraduate degree. এইটোৱে হ'ব কিজানিবা কাৰণ গভৰ্ণমেণ্টটো চবকে দিব নোখোজে এনেও চেইটান আছে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টটো সেইকাৰণে পষ্ট গ্ৰেজুৱেট ষ্টুডেণ্টহে বিচাৰিব সেইটোতো নহয় পষ্ট গ্ৰেজুৱেট এইটোতো নহ'ব দেই সিমান পষ্ট গ্ৰেজুৱেট ডিগ্ৰীলৈকে হ'ব পাৰে দ্য বেনিফিট ইজ নাও লিংক টু দ্য নিজুত মইনা ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন ষ্টেটাছ The annual family income of the bride's parents must be less than আগৰ পৰাই থাকিব লাগে এইটো চি হ'ব লাগে দে হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে নাই চি অহু বাপৰে পেৰেণ্টছৰ সেইটোৱে হ'ল নিজুত মইনাৰ লগততো ইমান এটা কানেকশ্যন কেনেকৈ হ'ব ন চ' সেইটোৱে 5 লাখৰ এইটো আগৰ পৰা থকা যেন লাগিছিলে সেইটোৱে হ'ব লাগিছিলে তাৰমানে আগতে বেলেগ আছিলে কণ্ডিশ্যনটো less than 5 lakh annual family income. Arundhati Goal Scheme did here. Goal Scheme to profit love. While the scheme originally focused on providing 40,000 equivalent to $1 of gold. The 2026 updates increased the income threshold to 5 lakh and met the educational requirement of passing, that is HSLC mandatory to promote literacy. Oh, young girls. মানে মেট্ৰিক পাছ কৰিব লাগিব HSLC তাকেতো পোষ্ট গ্ৰেজুৱেটটো বহুত বেছি হৈ যায় ন 40,000 আছিলে ন অৰিজিনেলি ফ'কাছড অন প্ৰভাইডিং 40,000 equivalent to $1 gold 40,000 to $1 gold কিনিবৰ কাৰণে হয় to the 2026 update increased the income threshold to 5 lakh. Oh, 2026 to kotha beleg 5 lakh required met educational requirement of passing HSLC mandatory yes to promote literacy among girls. Okay, HSLC hole hai to Arundhati Gold scheme or फायदा लाभ কৰিব পাৰিব Question 8. Consider the following statements regarding the Gift City Gujarat International Finance Tech City. Gift City Gujarat International Finance Tech City. Expansion in 2026. Oh my God. Though I don't believe in God, still my mouth utters, oh my God. This is just a language which I have planted inside my planted from the environment since childhood. Okay. The Gift City Gujarat International Finance Tech City expansion in 2026. It is India's first operational smart city and international financial services center. It is the first operational smart city and international financial services center to smart city international smart city নেকি গুজৰাটতে বনাইছে তাৰমানে মোদীজত নিজৰ জাগাতে For the first time, Assam House and Northeast trade hub have been approved for establishment within the gift city premises Assam House and এইটোৱে হ'ব যিহেতু এইটো দিছে Assam House and Northeast Trade Hub হ'ব পাৰে এইটো ওৱানো কাৰেক্ট হ'ব এইটোও কাৰেক্ট হ'ব দেই 1 2 the city operates under a separate set of regulations from the rest of India for financial services separate set of regulations from the rest of India for financial services separately কাম কৰে নেকি I don't think that can be separately workable to three to হ'ব নালাগে separate কেনেকৈ হ'ব separate কে কাম কৰে but a separate set of regulations এইটোৰ extra regulations তো থাকিবই যেহেতু কিবা এটা বেলেগ ধৰণৰ ন special I mean they are for financial services হ'ব পাৰে দেই so all three should be correct হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে নাই D oh D came to be correct okay very nice separately কাম কৰিব ন সেইটোৰ speciality আছে so in a unique move to integrate Northeast India with global finance, the Assam government received approval in early 2026 to set up a dedicated trade hub in Gujarat International Finance Tech City to promote tea and agar-oat exports to global markets. Okay. Tea and agar-oat কাৰণে ন এটা hub পাইছে অসমে the state of global year 2025 report highlighted that for the first time, air pollution has become the state of global year 2025. Air pollution has become the what leading cause of death among children under 5 years in South Asia. Primary reason for the shrinking of the Brahmaputra glaciers. It state global air pollution কাৰণে যেনিবা glacier বিলাক decline হয় নেকি মানে কি melt হয় নেকি melt হৈ কিনে shrink হৈছে ন কমি যায় second leading global risk factor for death surpassing tobacco use air pollution কাৰণে বহুত মোৰ মৃত্যু হৈছে main factor for the decrease in crop yields at Indo-Gangetic plain air pollution কাৰণে to crop yield affect কৰিছে I don't think so that cannot be correct D2 cannot be correct leading cause of death among children under 5 in South Asia primary reason for the shrinking of Brahmaputra glacier it primary never can it be primary so B is rejected second leading global risk factor for death service in tobacco use এইটো হ'ব পাৰে second tobacco use কাৰণে মৃত্যুটো হয় but I don't know this can be the correct answer C air pollution it highlighted state of global air yes C can be the most accurate yes C is the correct answer C is the correct answer this is a critical environment and the factor for 2026 air pollution is now the second leading global risk factor for death right behind high blood pressure and ahead of tobacco use ahead of tobacco use okay this has led to the national clean air program that's 2.0 in India okay with reference to the sovereign AI initiative of India 2526 what is the primary role of the wearable supercomputer sovereign AI initiative what is the primary role of wearable supercomputer okay to protect monsoon patterns with 100% accuracy sovereign to provide a cloud computing platform for big data analytics and AI research sovereign AI I think this is to manage the cybersecurity of India's nuclear power plants to manage the cybersecurity of India's nuclear power plants To automate the judicial process in high courts. Sovereign AI with wearable supercomputer, which one can be the correct answer to predict monsoon patterns with 100% accuracy. এইটোৰ কাৰণে এইটো বেলেগ হ'ব, বেলেগ হেৰি থাকিব, এইটো not correct I think. To provide a cloud computing platform for big data analytics and AI. So, computing platform. I don't think this is the correct. To manage the cybersecurity of India's nuclear power plants, এইটো হ'ব লাগে দেই. To manage the judicial process in high courts. এইটোতো হ'ব লাগে উইৰাবত কম্পিউটাৰ লৈ কিনে জুডিচিয়েল প্ৰচেছটো অট'মেটিক কৰিব নেকি এআইৰ জৰিয়তে। চাইবাৰ চিকিউৰিটিটো হ'ব লাগে দেই। ছভৰেন এআইটো চাইবাৰ চিকিউৰিটি কেনেকৈ কৰে মানে আই ডোণ্ট থিংক দিছ ইজ চাইবাৰ চিকিউৰিটিৰ লগত কিবা কানেকশ্যন থাকিব। অট'মেট দ্য জুডিচিয়েল প্ৰচেছ ইন হাই কোৰ্টছ, এইটো হ'ব ডি। ডি নট কাৰেক্ট। এইটো ক্লাউড কম্পিউটিঙৰ কাৰণে ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিব ছভৰেন এআই। অ'কে, চ' দিছ ইজ ইনকাৰেক্ট। That is sovereign AI of Rabat. Its primary role is to provide a cloud platform to cloud computing platform for big data analytics and AI research. Okay. Research analytics and knowledge dissemination platform about AI research analytics and knowledge dissemination platform is India's fastest AI supercomputer, or rather the fastest AI supercomputer under the Sovereign AI Mission 2026. This mission has initiative. It is being used to build indigenous that is large language models (LLMs), large language models in Indian regional languages, including Assamese, to ensure data sovereignty. Okay. Okay. 11. With reference to geological zones, the state of Assam is unique as it represents a transition zone between which two major regions. Biogeographical zones represents transition zone between which two major regions. The Palearctic and the Afrotropic rims, the Indo-Malayan and the Palearctic rims, the Indo-Burma and the Himalayan biodiversity hotspots. To a summer question, no. The Deccan Peninsula and the Gangetic Plain. Biogeographical zones. The state of Assam is unique as it represents a transition zone between which two major regions. Transition zone to Burma লগত connection হ'ব লাগে, Indo-Burma and the Himalayan biodiversity hotspot, Indo-Malayan and Palearctic rims, Deccan Peninsula and the Gangetic Peninsula. এইটো নহয়, এইটো C হ'ব. Yes, C is the correct answer. কাৰণ আসামৰ যিটো জিঅ'গ্ৰাফিকেল হেৰি ন, সেইটো বাৰ্মা ম্যানমাৰ আৰু ইপিনে হিমালয়ৰ অলপ হেৰি ন, ক্লজ to Himalaya, Eastern Himalaya, no? So Assam serves as a crucial ecological gateway. It is the meeting point of the Himalayan and the Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspots. This intersection is what the state boasts as high species diversity. Yes. Particularly in terms of orchids, primates, and avian fauna. Avian মানে উৰিব পৰা পক্ষীবিলাক আৰু ন, প্ৰাণীবিলাক. Tricky aspect, while Swiss B is also technically true on a continental scale, Indo-Malayan and Palearctic rims. Okay. Swiss, she is the specific hotspot classification used by Conservation International and the APSC CCE for Northeast geographic questions. Okay. Question 12. Consider the following statements regarding the Muhammad Rebellion. Muhammad Rebellion took place from 1769 to 1805. 1769 to 1805. Almost given 34 years. In our home history, Muhammad Rebellion. It was primarily a conflict between the Ahom monarchs and the disciples of the Muhammadiyah Church. Itu hoy. Itu conflict asile, primary conflict asile. Ahom aru to Muhammadiyah eruilak disciples mane eruilak no. Yes, the police Rani police na kiba hane hiye prothomte heri korsile নহয়. মানে হিংসাটো কৰিছিলে the rebellion was triggered by the religious tolerance of the Ahom queen Pulishuri. Yes, was triggered. Yes, this is Pulishuri দ্বাৰা হেৰি হৈছিলে এইটো কাৰেক্ট হয় শিৱসিংহৰ মানে পত্নী আছিলে ডাঙৰ পত্নী আছিলে বোধ হয় it was the first time in Ahom history that a commoner Ragha Nyok was appointed as the Borbora. It was the first time in Ahom history that a commoner Raghanyok was appointed as Borbora. I don't think this is correct. I don't know this one. Borbora is Raghanyok. Was appointed as the Borbora. I don't think we in no information on it, so I will not go for 3. So 1 and 2 should be the correct answer. A. Oh, not correct. Okay. এইটো গোটেইকেইটা কাৰেক্ট মানে ৰাঘানিয়ক বৰবৰুৱা হিচাপে হেৰি হৈছিলে ফাৰ্ষ্ট টাইম হি ইজ আ কমনাৰ অ'কে ৰাঘানিয়ক অ'কে যি হ'ল আৰু ন it was a socio-religious and political uprising of the Matoks Matok no against the central authority Queen Pulishuri, that is Bor Roja big Rani মানে আসল ডাঙৰ ৰাণী এইটো ন Bor Roja Pulishuri. Famously first the Vaishnava Mahantas to smear their foreheads with blood of sacrificed animals, yes, which deeply insulted the Maurya's. The Mahantas had to be smeared with what called sacrificed animal's blood. There was a very deep insult to the Maurya Mahantas. Okay. During the temporary Muhammad occupation of the capital, Raghanyok was indeed appointed as the Borbora, a post traditional reserved for the Ahom nobility. A post traditionally reserved, traditional asile, but to exceptional or no, the commoner এনেকে হেৰি কৰিছিলে occupational কাৰণে during the temporary Muhammad occupation of the capital. Okay. In January 2026, the Siliguri corridor chicken snack, watching the news regarding the Gati Shakti multimodal cargo terminal, what is the strategic weight of this corridor at its narrowest point? Okay, narrow west point. सबसे खिन point to approximately 12 kilometers. 22, 32 and 42. Approx kiman kilometer asile 26 na 32. 36 asile no approx itu. So this is going to this will go for 36 or 32 approximately 36 kilometer narrower no. Nearest point gusi no nearest point. Second snake is the news regarding the that is multimodal terminal, cargo terminal. What is the strategic weight of this corridor at its nearest? सबसे कम हेरी point, nearest point to 36 kilometer nearest point बोलेको न? I think 32 हो लगे सी. 22 kilometer, 22 kilometer. बाहर थे किलो है 20 kilometer है सिले ना Narrowest point totally no. Yeah, the Siliguri corridor is a narrow stretch of land in West Bengal that connects the northeastern states to the rest of India. At its narrowest, it is the only 20 to 22 kilometer wide. Bisur per kilometer. 26 context, the government has the accelerated Project 22, Project 22 in early 26 to create redundant transport links, rail and road to bypass potential blockage at this Chanjarib John. Okay, bypass Koragon, no? Okay, 14, question number 14. Negative, I hear say, into. With reference to the Bhasini AI platform integrated into the Assam government's portal in 2026, what is its primary function? Bhasini to language or Bhakha Bhasini to protect defect video, to provide real-time translation of government services into local Assamese dialects and Bodo. Into the acceleration revenue, that is no, that is B correct answer. Yes, B is the correct answer. Bhasani National Fasa Language Platform. National Bhasa Language Platform Bhasani is an AI-led language translation mission. The Assam government integrated it to bridge the digital divide, allowing citizens to access portals like Seva Setu, in the native tongue through um, voice-based AI. Okay. Consider the following pairs of geological errors at the formation of physical features in Assam. Geological errors and formation of physical features. Pollution to Eocene formation of the Karbi, Anglong, and Nordkasser Hills. I don't know. At the key beside which of the correct limits? No. Which of the pairs on pollution and Eocene, that is Karbi Anglong, Aro, Nordkasser Hills formation. Pleistocene, that is formation of Brahmaputra eleval plain. Precambrian, presence of the Shillong Plateau, and the Karbi Plateau as an extension of the Indian Peninsula island. Shillong, Meghalaya, and Karbi to hoito itu Precambrian hoy no nazano, but the extension of Peninsula to hoy. Formation of Brahmaputra eleval Pleistocene itu hopo like pollution, that is, and pollution to Eocene, formation of Karbi Anglong and the Nordkasser Hills, Precambrian. All this should be correct. All the means D. Yes, this is the correct answer. Just the guess of course. Pollution, that is formation of Karbi and Nordkasser Hills, Dimaso, also Pleistocene, that is Brahmaputra eleval planar formation. No, then the Precambrian, that is presence of Shillong Plateau and extension of Indian Peninsula Shield. Okay. The Karbi and Meghalaya plateaus are the oldest parts of the region. Karbi and Meghalaya parts like oldest of the region. That is oldest means Precambrian, that is oldest. Okay. The tertiary hills, that is Karbi and Dimahasa, were uplifted during the same period as the Himalayas. Oh, tertiary Himalayas to tertiary period, uplifted during the same period as the Himalayas. The Brahmaputra Valley is geologically young. Brahmaputra young, geologically, yes, formed by the deposition of shale during the Pleistocene and Holocene periods. The Kalmaharan 2.0 concluded in early 2026 introduced mandatory anti-doping and ethics model for participants, which department is the nodal agency for this event. Anti-doping to our India highest visible India world record. Sign no code by second sign it as no sign it second of but India highest visible. American is Indian highest. Kelmar on 2026 introduced a mandatory anti-doping and ethics model for participation anti-doping test কৰিছিলে ন drugs খাইনে নাখায় এনেকুৱা which department is the nodal agency of this event Department of Education Department of Sports and Youth Welfare Assam Olympic Association Department of Health and Family Welfare এইটোতো নহয় anti-doping to Olympic Association হ'ব নেকি Assam Olympic Association Sports and Youth Welfare Department of Education এইটো anti-doping and ethics that is welfare ethics আছে ন Assam Olympic Association নে হ'ব দেই এইটো হ'ব C ওহো বিহে আছিলে মানে ৱেলফেয়াৰ থকাৰ কাৰণে এথিক্সৰ লগত কানেকশ্যন হৈ যোৱা ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট অফ স্পৰ্টছ এণ্ড ইউথ ৱেলফেয়াৰ আছাম অ'কে Kelmaran is the state's largest grassroots sports competition. The Sports and Youth Welfare Department manages it to identify talent, promote the village, and travel to state level. The 2026 edition 2.0 that is emphasized Kelmaran to clean sports and Olympic value education. য'ত অলিম্পিকত এণ্টি ডপিং হেৰি কৰে টেষ্ট কৰে কুৱেশ্যন 17 বিকাশিত ভাৰত at 2047 North East segment documents highlight the blue economy potential of Assam. This primarily refers to Big City Bharat at 2047 Northeast segment documents highlight the blue economy potential of Assam. The expansion of indigo cultivation, sustainable development of inland water transport and fisheries, blue economy that is related to peace, water, promoted the state hub, blue banda that is blue economy, that is peace, that is B. Yes, B. For a landlocked state like Assam, the blue economy focuses on its massive river network, Brahmaputra and Barak. It involves developing national waterway to Brahmaputra, sustainable river tourism, and scientific aquaculture, fish farming. Okay. Question 18. Which of the following describes the Aham era as Aham era text between text system known as Kharphal Aham era textor system or Kharphal to guess a text levied on every household for the use of forest timber. A text of the professional weavers for producing muga silk. A tax paid by the bikes who were exempted from physical labor. এইটোতো impossible এইটো বেলেগ আছিলে চুমুৱা নে কিবা বাইক আছিলে সেইটো চুমুৱা নে কিবা এনেকৈ টেক্স আছিলে এইটো কামৰ পৰা exempt কৰে tax collected from foreign traders at the Hadira Suki. এইটোতো ঘৰ ফল এইটোতো household for the use of forest timber এইটোৱে হ'ব হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে না A. Yes, it came to be the correct answer. Carpal means the tax levied on every household for collecting timber from the forest. Okay, that is carpal or kharkar, carpal or kor, which house tax or health tax, house tax or heart tax. Okay, in the Ahom system, while the pike system was based on labor, additional taxes like carpal were levied for using state-owned resources like thatching grass and timber. Carpal is thatching sal bonar karne no jebila kher lage thatching grass and the timber prop the forest. Okay, kat lage no. Question 19, the global minimum tax of 15%, which became a major economic talking point for Indian IT hubs in 2026, was spearheaded by which organization? That is global minimum tax, not maximum. Minimum tax, the major economic talking point Indian IT hubs in this is what's spearheaded by which organization? World Bank. That is World Trade Organization, or the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, International Monetary Fund. Global minimum tax. In for Indian IT hubs, no. To OECD, to Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Itu ke hoan national lagi second to concept to global, no, International Monetary Fund. Monetary Fund, World Trade Organization. Oh, Minimum Tax Trade Organization, itu World Trade Organization apa? CTO. Hai hol no CTO. Oh, itu asile. CTO asile. So negative হৈ গ'ল. CTO correct asile. That is organization OECD, Organization for Economic, that is Operation and Development to global minimum tax 15% কৰি দিয়াটো এইটো asile OECD. Okay, spearheading organization. Okay, the organization for economic cooperation and developments pillar 2 more ensures the multinational enterprises are subject to a minimum 15% tax rate, regardless of where they operate, preventing base erosion and profit shifting, preventing base erosion and profit shifting to tax havens. Okay. 20th question number. With reference to the Deeper Bill Ramsar site constitutional estimates, it is the only Ramsar site in India. Deeper Bill is the only Ramsar site in Assam. Yes, this is correct. It is a permanent freshwater lake and a former channel of the Brahmaputra River. It asile Brahmaputra River channel hoy into former asile agote. It block hoye ase bole eneke. In 2026, railway underpass project was completed here to protect elephant corridors. Oh, I think correct. Elephant area no tate close hills or sort. Railway trains in 2026, a railway underpass project was completed here to protect elephant corridors. Itu hobol lage. I don't think এলিফেণ্টৰ কাৰণেতো বহুত কাম কৰি আছে, এইটো হ'ব লাগে গোটেইকেইটাই কাৰেক্ট হ'ব দেই. D. Yes, I am correct. Yeah, one correct. Though others are proposed, it remains the only official one. Other beleg ase aru jeniba kintu official to iye metro. And two, that is, it is an Oxbow Lake abandoned channel. Yes, to itia abandoned hoise bostukhini into agate asile no former channel of Brahmaputra River to stop elephant deaths over the tracks passing through the bill. The eco-friendly underpass became operational in January 2026. Okay. #21. According to the Assam budget 2026, the Chief Minister's Jivan Prerna scheme is designed to support a specific group of individuals unemployed youth skilling, seeking skill training in the semiconductor industry. Graduates from government colleges, universities with monthly financial assistance for 1 year. Elderly women entrepreneurs in rural. That is B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Chief Minister's Jivan Prerna scheme, a major highlight of the 2026 budget, helps to bridge the transition from education to employment. It provides 2,500 monthly for up to 1 year to students graduating from government's new institutions in Assam. Tricky aspect, it also includes a one-time grant of 20,000 for research scholars, making it a graduation to career support system. 12,000 দিয়ে এতিয়া মানে এক বছৰত ন 10 মান্থছৰ কাৰণে দিয়ে চ' 25,000 পইচা স্কলাৰছৰবিলাকক আৰু ইপিনে ষ্টুডেণ্টছ গ্ৰেজুৱেটিং ফ্ৰম গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট ইনষ্টিটিউশ্যনত 2,500 দিয়ে গ্ৰেজুৱেট ষ্টুডেণ্টবিলাক with reference to the ISRO mission PSLV C62 EOS 1 January 2026 consider first month it successfully placed the EOS 1 satellite into us it no incorrect to successful. The mission faced a documented anomaly in the PS3 yes payload third number stage during the launch phase. Yes, EOS L1 is India's first satellite dedicated to monitor the carbon credit potential of Indian forests. Carbon credit potential এইটোতো হ'ব নালাগে so only 2 হ'ব লাগে দেই EOS N1 is India's first satellite dedicated to monitoring the carbon credit potential Indian forests. Only 2. Oh, 2 হয় 2 correct আছিলে sorry 3 correct আছিলে so ভুল হৈ গ'ল একো কথা নাই ভুল হ'লে হ'ল আৰু মানে EOS N1 is India's first satellite dedicated to monitor the carbon credit potential of Indian forests. Okay. In January 2026, the PSLV C62 mission successfully deployed the EOS N1 satellite despite a performance anomaly reported in the third stage. Deploy কৰিছে তাৰমানে PSLV কোনটো EOS N1 to 3 is incorrect. Statement 3 is incorrect কৈছে statement 3 বোলে incorrect এটা কি কৈছে which is correct বিচাৰিছিলে 3 is incorrect. EOS N1 is an Earth observation satellite focused on high resolution imaging for urban planning and disaster management, not specifically carbon credits, which is typical. Oh, sorry. এইটো ঠিকে আছে মোৰ যেটো কৈছিলো এইটো ভুলে আছে মই অপচনতে মোৰ খেলা মিলাই গ'ল successfully placed ho কেনেকৈ sun synchronous polar orbit কেনেকৈ successfully place কৰিলে যেতিয়া বস্তুকেইটা গোটেই 16 কিমানটা স্যাটেলাইট আছিলে গোটেইকেইটা মানে হেৰি হৈছিলে ইফালে ইফালে সৰতে হৈ পৰিছিলে সেপাৰেট হৈ গৈছিলে ন sun synchronous orbitত ফেস থাৰ্ড ষ্টেজত গৈ পাইছে নেকি ইমান ওপৰত এইটো প্লেস কৰিছে বুলি কৈছে ন 1 and 2 are correct so 3 is not correct that is carbon credit potential ito নহয় এটো কি আসলে Earth observation satellite asile focused on high resolution imaging for urban planning and disaster management no not specifically that is carbon credit or karone nohoy it's typical the domain of missions like nature carbon credit is that is typical nature or karone specialized hyper spectral satellites মানে EOS N1 to sun synchronous orbitত হেৰি কৰিছিলে ল্যান্ড কৰিছিলে ডিপ্লয় কৰিছে ওকে নাজানো এটা জানিলো Question 23 Does Hornbill Mela traditional fear unique it is so one to where barter system is practiced makes sense এটো তো হয় First marriage between to A হয়. A is the correct answer. This one will mela here that Doyang Belguri in Moriga. Doyang Belguri in Moriga. It's globally famous for maintaining attention antibiotic system that is minimally approach. As some ayo. Wali kita cricket খেলি আছে একেবাৰে ঘৰত টিনত বলটো পৰি গ'ল. People from the hills, Tiwa, Garbi, Khasi, accents their produce ginger, turmeric, Tiwa, Garbi, Khasi, ginger, turmeric for cash, fish and the rice from the plants. People. APSC Open frames this as a living example of traditional inclusive governance and economic. Consider the following regarding the Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan 2026. It provides a seed capital of 10,000 to members of self-help groups. It is strictly limited to women residing in urban local. It is not correct. Post utilization of the sheet fund beneficiaries and eligible for subsidized bank loans of 25,000. Post utilization of the sheet fund beneficiaries are eligible for subsidized bank loans for 1 and 3 are correct. 1 and 3 B. Yes, B is the correct answer. প্ৰথমতে 10,000 ভাল কামত ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিব পাৰিলে তেতিয়াহ'লে 25,000 লোন পাব আৰু কি ন এইটো কি কৈছিলে সাবসিডাইজ বেংক লোনছ The scam focuses on turning self-help group into rural micro entrepreneurs. Okay, entrepreneur বনাব আৰু ন The scheme is primarily targeted at rural areas through the National Rural Development Mission. Itu NRLM এটা framework হয় District Mukhyamantri Udyamita Asani neki. Although it has components for urban poor as well, urban poor karne hoy rural hoy. Saying it is strictly limited to urban is factually wrong, no? Nice. So question number 25. Hasti Bidharnava, medieval Assamese traders on elephants. That is Hasti Bidharnava Shiva Sinkar in Rajatad Bunasina. So B is the correct answer. So Kumar Borpet, no? Dilbar Desai Aroki Asile. Dilbar Aroki Basile. Pen Porato, color Subia Kato. Commissioned by Shiva Singha and his queen Ambika Boroza Ambika, no? Rani Polisuri Ambika, okay. The Hasti Bidharnava, that is 1734 written Kurisile by Sukumar Borgat, 1737, 18th century, no? Uniqueness, it is famous for its exquisite illustrations by Dilbar and Dosai. Oh, Dilbar Dosai. Beleg, no? Two zonasile, Dilbar and Dosai. Elephants were central to warfare and royalty, making this a tricky question, often confused with Rudrasingha's reign. Okay. Elephant central warfare for warfare royalty, making this a tricky question, often confused with Rudrasingha's reign. Okay. In January 2026, researchers discovered a new species of ginger that is Paracamperia alba in Siang Valley. That is Siang Valley hopan hope, but it is ginger species itu Paracamperia itu alba Paracamperia alba itu Arunachal Pradesh হয়. It is well located in West Eastern state. Itu easy করে দিছে মানে itu species to মাত্ৰ দি দিলে মানে অলপ টান হ'ল মানুহৰ Siang Valley দিছে Arunachal Pradesh, that is B. I already know this one. The Siang is a major geographic feature of Arunachal Pradesh. The discovery of Paracamperia Alva reinforces the জংঘলত পোৱা আদা হয় এইটো Eastern Himalayas as a global hotspot for uh, ginger family, gingiberry, okay. 27, the steel slack technology, proposed in early 26 for sustainable road construction in hilly regions of India is a byproduct of its industry. Steel slack technology, cool industry, thermal power plants, slack thermal power plant, iron steel industry, fertilizer, plastic. It iron or steel slack industry. It iron or B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Iron and steel industry to Kimo and Gaher. Steel slag is a byproduct generated during the separation of molten steel from impurities in steelmaking furnaces. It is being used to build green rods because it is more durable and weather resistant. Steel rod. It keeps to steel slag technology. It is being used to build green roads because it is more durable and weather resistant in high rainfall hill areas like the northeast. Steel road বানাবো নেকি নাজানো দে ষ্টিলৰ ৰড বনাব লাগিলেতো আৰু ক'বই নালাগে দেখোন green roads. Steel slags is a byproduct generating during the separation of molten steel from impurities in steel making furnaces. Molten steel impurities. Impurity মানে বেয়াবিলাক যিবিলাক ষ্টিলৰ মেইন ভালবিলাক ব্যৱহাৰ কৰোঁ কিন্তু বেয়াবিলাক এতিয়া ষ্টিল স্লেগ বনাওঁত ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিব আৰু কি যিটো ৰ'দৰ কাৰণে ন গ্ৰীণ ৰডছ যিটো ডিউৰেবল হয় অ'কে Question 28 project 22 এইটো পাইছোঁ which gained momentum at 26 union budget specifically aims to achieve 22% forest cover in every Indian state by 2030 PL 22 green এইটোতো project 22 টো এইটো chicken neck corridor হয় ন chicken snake corridor এইটো Siliguri 22 airways expressways Himalayan states create abundant transport infrastructure to the Siliguri corridor এইটো হয় 22-hour সেইটো C হ'ব direct transport infrastructure rail and road yes rail or road to ensure secure the Siliguri corridor that is C named after the 22-kilometer width or white 20-kilometer wide of the Siliguri corridor second snack project 22 is a strategic initiative to develop alternative rail and road routes include the bridges over the Brahmaputra including bridges over the Brahmaputra to ensure Brahmaputra bridge project 22 to ensure the northeast remains connected to the mainland even in conflict okay this is good Brahmaputra river construction or road scenario okay Question number the following was the first female martyr of the 942 Queen in the moment in Assam first female martyr to কোন লতা বড়োৱে হ'ব লাগে ন Queen in the moment female martyr to কোন লতা বড়ো ভৱিষ্যত কোনে পুষ্পলতা চন্দ্ৰভাষী জ্ঞানী I think কোন লতা yes सबसे সৰুটো আছিলে something like পাৰ থাকিলো ন তিলক তিলেশ্বৰী বৰুৱা নে কিবা Tillisuri Burwan, something like that. Conlocta Borough of Gopur was the first woman to fall to British bullets who were trying to hoist the national flag at the Gopur police station on 20 September 1942. Distinction Bogusuri Pukununi also died at the same moment, but a slight later died in Noga. Bogusuri Pukununi Murisule. Pukununi was also died at the same moment. But a slight later date কেইদিনমান পিছত ন এই নগাঁও ভোগেশ্বৰী ফুকননি আৰু আছিলে বোধহয় Question 30 the swarm that is scope means swarm capable operational A robotic platform, swarm capable operational robotic platform unveiled in January 2026 is India's first that is swarm capable operational robotic platform. January 2026 unveiled in India's first legged mobile manipulator for high altitude defense. Swarm capable operational robotic platform. Underwater drone for mapping the Brahmaputra riverbed. Itu হ'ব চব মানেতো আৰু মাখি চৰি মাখি নহয় দ্যাট ইজ হৰ্নেট মানে বৰল এনেকৈ এইটোতো ড্ৰ'নে হ'ব মেপ এতিয়া ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ ৰিভাৰবেড আণ্ডাৰ ৱাটাৰ বুলি robotic platform underwater কেনেকৈ হ'ব underwaterটো নাযাব ন a powered surgical robot for rural health centers autonomous tractor for precision agriculture in the northeast underwater drone for mapping the Brahmaputra riverbed some capable underwater drone এইটোৱে হ'ব দে মানে পানীত চলা ড্ৰ'ন সেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ হ'ব আৰু কি এইটোৱে হ'ব আই থিংক এইটোৱে হ'ব লাগে মেপ কৰিব ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ ৰিভাৰবেডটো মেপ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে হাই অল্টিটিউড ডিফেন্স বাকী একো কামত নহয় এইটো বি হ'ব কাৰেক্ট এনচাৰ অ' চৰি এইটো হাই অল্টিটিউড মানে ৰবটহে আছিলে ডিফেন্সৰ কাৰণে ন চ' এ ইজ দ্য কাৰেক্ট আনচাৰ Scorp that is some capable operational robotic platform that is legged mobile manipulator for high altitude defense okay it's a robot defense robot no fully laga developed by an Indian startup in collaboration with DRDO Scorp DRDO when I say is a legged robot like a robotic dog equipped with arms manipulators arms so you know it is designed to navigate difficult terrains in the Himalayas where wheeled vehicles cannot go. Okay. তেতিয়াহ'লে হিমালয়ত যেতিয়া যায় এনেকৈ ৰবটিক ডগ পাব ন দেখা যাব পলাৰ বিয়াৰৰ সলনি পলাৰটো যেতিয়াকৈ বিয়াৰ with reference to the Assam Green Budget 2026 consider the following statements. Assam is the first state in India to introduce a dedicated green budget document alongside the main budget. I don't know. The 2026 green budget it identifies 32 line departments as environment influence departments. And it aims to achieve a net zero carbon emission status of the city of Guwahati by the year 2035. I think hobo pare net zero code kuro paribo 35 ভিতৰত it is impossible but I think hobo pare ene target কৰিছে Assam budget that is Assam green budget dedicated green budget document alongside the main budget এইটোতো হ'ব পাৰে ফাৰ্ষ্ট হ'ব পাৰে 2026 green budget identifies 32 line departments environment influencing departments হ'ব পাৰে it aims to achieve a net zero carbon emission status all three correct D হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে নাই net zero এইটোতো 35টো ইম্পচিবল বুলি কৈছোঁ নহয় চ' এইটো ইনকাৰেক্ট হয় বাট মইতো কাৰেক্ট নকৰিলোঁ মানে নিগেটিভ আহি গ'ল মোৰ okay statement one is correct Assam piloted a green budgeting process to track climate related expenditure and two is for 2026 cyber a number of participating departments double to 32 to ensure holistic environment planning yes 32 is and departments no for environment, uh, welfare. Okay, environmental goodness. Okay, no. While the budget emphasizes green initiatives, the net zero target for Guwahati is generally aligned with in this broader 2070 goal, 2070 goal, yes, or specific state milestones for 2025. But 2035 is an artificially shortened and incorrect deadline in this context. Okay, 2035 asile, 2050 asile, space or state or here too, and all overall India that is 70. Uh, Green emission net zero emission. Question 32. The Treaty of Badrpur, 1824, is a significant precursor to British intervention in northeast India. It was Badrpur, could I say? Badrpur, Karimganj, Sinige. It was signed between the British and the ruler of which kingdom, that is Kasar Jantia Manipur. I think Kasar Kingdom, that is Badrpur, that is Kasar, of course, Kasar B. Yes, Mr. correct answer. Badrpur, that is 1824, 1826. 1826 to আপুনি মানুহৰ লগত চুক্তি আছিলে ইয়াণ্ডাবুত ট্ৰেড ব্ৰিটিছ অ'কে বদৰপুৰ কাছাৰ The Treaty of Badrpur was signed in March 2024 between the British and the Govinda Chandra, the Raja of Kasar Govinda Chandra আছিলে ন Thus Treaty Kasar became a protectorate of the British and in exchange for military protection against the Burmese. Okay, this eventually paved the way for the formal annexation of Kasar in 1832. তাৰপিছতে কাছাৰক annexation কৰি লৈছিলে ব্ৰিটিছে 1832 protection দিব না ৰখকে ফকক ন ৰখকে ফকক 33. In January 26, the CCTS carbon credit trading scheme was carbon credit trading scheme was expanded to 4 new sectors. Which of the following is not one of the newly added sectors? Carbon credit trading scheme, aluminium, cement to hoboi, fertilizer, tea manufacturing, carbon credit, tea manufacturing no na aluminium. Fertilizer to carbon emission hoboi, carbon credit trading scheme. Aluminium no hobo neki aluminium no tea hobo D. Yes, D. This is the correct answer. In early 2026, the Ministry of Environment, that is Ministry of Environment and Finance on climate change added 4 carbon intensive sectors to the compliance program of the Indian carbon market, that is aluminum, cement, fertilizer, and petroleum refineries. Aluminum, cement, petroleum refineries. Tea manufacturer was significant in Assam is not yet classified under the high intensity greenhouse gas compliance sectors for carbon credit trading scheme. Okay. 34. The one state, one stock exchange. One state, one stock. OSOS. One state, one product. No. One state, one stock exchange. Proposal discussed in 2026 Financial Market Summit aims to revive regional exchanges, which was the first stock exchange in Northeast India. Guwahati Stock Exchange, Shillong Stock Exchange, Dibrugarh Stock Exchange, Manipur Guwahati Stock Exchange এইটোৱে ফাৰ্ষ্ট হ'ব এইটোৱে হ'ব that is গুৱাহাটী হ'ব হ'ব yes হ'ব গুৱাহাটী মেইনলেণ্ড ন Guwahati Stock Exchange (GSE) was established in 1983. 1983, though also it was this derecognized by SEBI. SEBI derecognized কৰিছে ন মানে নজৰ দিয়া নাই by SEBI in 2015 due to low turnover. কাম নাই আছিল কাম নোহোৱা আছিল ন গুৱাহাটী ষ্টক এক্সচেঞ্জৰ ভেলু মানে বহুত কম আৰু কি মানে টাৰ্ণঅভাৰ মানে প্ৰডাকশ্যন এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ন 2026 reforms are looking at creating that is SME SME semi SME SME আছিলে কি আছিলে পাহৰি গ'লোঁ manufacturing platforms small manufacturing art and পাহৰি গ'লোঁ ৰে মুঠৰ ওপৰত কিবা ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰিয়েল কিবা এনেকুৱা ন স্মল institution যেনিবা platforms within regional hubs to have local startups like SME like those in Assam's tea and tech sectors raise capital. Okay. 35 consider the following regarding the Hulog given the only app on in India. The Hulog given Holongpar given century in Assam is the only century in India named after this species. Yes, and 2012 is the global given network declared the Western given as critically endangered. Given is critically endangered, we do only one. They are monogamous and live in small family groups. Unlike most other primates, monogamous মানে অকলে থাকি ভাল পায় ন live in small family groups unlike most other primates হ'ব পাৰে দে হ'ব পাৰে okay all three can be correct D নহয় Indonesia global given network declared the Western given as critically endangered এইটো নহয় global critically endangered to আৰু কেনেকৈ global given network দিব পাৰে global given network বুলি কোনো এটা এৰিয়া নাছিলে ন that is Holongpar in Jorhat তো ভুল হৈ থাকিলে Holongpar in Jorhat is a stronghold. Okay. Well, that is incorrect. To incorrect asile. While they are highly threatened, হয়, but Western Huluk given is currently classified as endangered by the IUCN. Not critically endangered, though its population is declining. Critically no, endangered হয়. Okay, এইটো কি কৈছে Western Huluk given সেইটোতো যেনিবা currently classified as endangered by the highly threatened. The Western Huluk given is currently classified as endangered by the IUCN and not critically endangered. Critically endangered no one, though its population is declining rapidly. Estimentary givens are known for their monogamous pair bonding and distinct vocal duets. Okay, distinct vocal duets. Question 36. The Bistarit Assam Darshan scheme mentioned in the latest 2026 state budget focuses on Bistarit Assam Darshan, providing free air travel to Bistarit Assam Darshan generous Assam Darshan air travel no developing infrastructure in 1,000 ancient temples Assam Darshan. Infrastructure creating a 5G enabled virtuality tool for international tourists, subsidizing luxury river cruises order for on Brahmaputra for foreign nationals. Registered Assam Darshan. 25-26 state budget সেইটোতো এয়াৰ ট্ৰেভেলটো ক'তো শুনা নাছিলোঁ সাউথ ইণ্ডিয়া সাউথ ইণ্ডিয়াৰ তাৰ কেনেকৈ not possible. Developing infrastructure in over 1,000 ancient temples, mosques, churches within Assam. 5C enabled virtual reality tour for international tourists. दर्शन करले तो virtual reality হ'ব লাগে হয় সিয়ে হ'ব লাগে বাকী বিয়ে আছিলে 1,000 টেম্পলত মানে ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰটো হয় দৰ্শন বুলি কিয় কৈছে developing infrastructure in over 1,000 ancient temples, mosques, and churches. Okay. Vistarit expanded Assam Darshan is a cultural that is infrastructure scheme and provides grants up to 10 lakh per site, 10 lakh per site. Okay. For the improvement of amenities at historic religious sites of faiths across Assam to promote religious tourism. Muslim or same to Muslim bhale na bhai. With reference to the C295, that is aircraft whose first made in India. Unit is set to roll out in 2026. Consider the following: C295 aircraft whose first made in India. Unit is set for rollout in 2026. Consider the following. Okay, it is a medium lift tactical transport aircraft. Medium lift, I think so. It is being manufactured through a joint venture that is between Airbus and Hindustan Aeronautics Hull. It can operate from short or unprepared airstrips, making it ideal for the advanced landing grounds. That is advanced landing grounds at Northeast India. Unprepared airstrips. It can be from short or unprepared that is airstrips. Operate or making it idle for the advanced landing grounds. Okay, everything is correct. I guess it is being manufactured through a joint venture. That is Airbus Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Airbus এটা হেৰি আছে নেকি it is a medium lift tactical transport. এইটোতো কাৰেক্ট নহয় যেন লাগি আছে ন Airbus Hindustan Aeronautics Limited এইটোতো হয় হ'ব লাগে Airbus বুলিতো ইয়াতে ইণ্ডিয়াত নাই 1 and 3 হ'ব লাগে 1 and 3 B. Yes, B is the correct answer. কাৰণ Airbus বুলি আমাৰ ইয়াতে কিবা আছে নেকি নাইতো টাটা বনাইছে বোলে The C295 is being manufactured by a partnership between Airbus and Tata. Airbus আছে মানে Tata এইটো হালটো নহয় যেনিবা Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Tata and Airbus আছে systems that is limited DSL not HAL. This is landmark project as it is the first time a private company will manufacture a full military aircraft. That is this C295 itu military aircraft no in India. Okay, and that is 1 and 3 correct. It's able to land on unprepared strips. Yes, so that the group is vital for border security in Arunachal and Ladakh. Okay, C295 Ladakh or Arunachal important of no In the context of Assam's literature, the Urnodoy 1846 was the first Assamese periodical. Yes, yes, yes. Urnodoy 1846. Who was its first editor? Urnodoy, that is Nathan Brown. Miles Bronson, no. Oliver Cutler. That is first editor, Nathan Brown. That is, yes, 1846 Urnodoy, okay. Nathan Brown was the first editor of Urnodoy, published by the America's Baptist Mission Press in Sibsagar. It played a pivotal role in the Assamese language movement and the modernization of Assamese prose. Okay. What is the Asia Manufacturing Index? Asia Manufacturing Index 2026, where India recently secured the sixth position. Into Asia Manufacturing Index, the India was sixth position by a measure of the total number of factories in East Asian countries. Country. In East Asian country, there is a total number of factories. Okay. Asia Manufacturing Index over Paris. However, the composite index evaluating Tehran's structural competitiveness policies of patent double supply chain manufacturing to manufacturing of a factory of a ranking of the cheapest labor index trade the adoption of trading that is a no B hole a composite index evaluating structural competitiveness policy support and supply chain resilience. Supply chain manufacturing no. That is Asia Manufacturing Index. Asia Manufacturing Index, that is 2026, is a new as benchmark used by investors to determine where to shift China plus one operations in India in the sixth rank reflects a high maximum policy support. PLI schemes, but highlights gaps in logistics costs compared to Vietnam or China. Vietnam or Thailand. Logistic costs many problem is the Bonmitra app launched by Assam Forest Department in 2026 uses which technology to help villagers harvest that is special recognition of tigers. That is satellite light link the heat mapping for fires and acoustic sensors to detect low frequency rumbles that is approaching 11 hertz. That is blockchain. That is C over 1 meter C. Yes, C 1 meter elephant to কি মানে এটা টেকনিক আৰু ন মানে টেকন'লজি acoustic sensor থাকে to detect low frequency rumbles of approaching 11 hertz. Okay, frequency গম পায় আৰু ন. The 1 meter initiative uses acoustic sensing and seismic sensors. কোপে আৰু সেই সেনেকৈ কোপা বা চাউণ্ডৰ সেনেকৈ often referred to as early warning systems to detect elephant movement before they enter human settlements. আমাৰ ফালে আছে নেকি এনেকুৱা sensor, acoustic sensing and seismic sensor? That is what বন মিত্ৰ এপৰ জৰিয়তে এপ মোবাইল এপ হ'ব ন. বন মিত্ৰ এপটো হেৰি কৰিলে গম পাই হাতী আহিছে নে নাই. Okay, before they enter human settlements, the app then sends an automated SMS alert to the 1 meters village volunteers. Okay. 1 meter এপটো লঞ্চ কৰিব লাগিল তেতিয়াহ'লে ডাউনলোড কৰিব লাগিল ন. আহি থাকে আমাৰ ফালে হাতী এইকেইটা দিনতে আহিল 2-3 দিন আগতে. With reference to the Assam budget 2025 to 26, that is full estimates regarding the state's fiscal health is correct. The fiscal deficit is targeted at 7.5 of the GSDP. I exceeded the previous year's target The correct one is the correct one like that. The gross state domestic product of Assam is projected to grow by 15% over the 24-25. The state has an estimated revenue deficit of 2% of GDP, gross GDP for the first time in a decade. Revenue deficit estimated as significant revenue deficit of 2%. Allocation of the social services sector has been uh, privatized. Which is correct? Because no, I think C is the correct one. The state has estimated a significant revenue deficit of 2% of GSDP for the first time in a decade. Itu pare no hole the project is projected to grow 15% over the 2%, 2.7, and that is fiscal deficit is targeted. And the C did hole that is B. B was the correct answer. So I made it wrong. Okay. The gross state domestic product GSDP of Assam is projected to grow, that is 15% over the year 24-25. The 25-26 Assam budget projects the GSDP to be 7,41,000 crore, representing a 15% growth over the previous year. Tricky aspect whether a revised fiscal deficit of 2025 was in 5.7%. The target for 2026 is actually 3.7, which is closer to the fiscal responsibility and budget management norms. The state aims for a revenue balance, no surplus or deficit, or rather than a deficit. Okay. 42. The Sikna Jolao National Park, India Paisu, 8-number National Park, was recently mentioned in biodiversity reports early 26. And west region of Assam, that is Bodoland territorial region, that is B. Sikna Jolao, okay, that is correct. Located in the Bitter Kokraza district, this park is not for the park is part of the ongoing conservation efforts in the transitional forest zone between the Himalayas and the Brahmaputra plains. It is often discussed alongside Ramana and Manas as a key corridor, for the transboundary migration of the golden langur migration. I don't know. Transboundary migration, that is Ramana National Park and Signazolo National Park, then Manas. Question 43. Consider the following regatta. My commentary Nijat Babu Asuni, which became operational on February 1st, 2026. February exact February. It provides financial assistance to male students of private universities. No private organ no the assistance is provided for 10 months in an academic year. It to correct. It is specifically included students enrolled in distance. I don't know why. So only 2 is correct. Students, private universities. Students provide 10 months in the key question, which is was correct question. Specifically excludes students enrolled in distance. Exclude question. It is it specifically excludes students enrolled in distance learning education program. So 2 and 3 correct. 2 and 3 B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Statement 1 is incorrect because the scheme is limited to students in government and provincialized institutes. Students in private institutions not eligible. Monthly stipend that is 1K for 150K for undergraduate and 2K for postgraduate English for 10 months a year and Australia for regular courses to ensure campus attendance. Big Bharat 2024, no, sorry, 2047 is uh, regional plan identifies the trilateral highway as a game changer for Assam's economy. Which three countries does this but highway primarily connect? Trilateral highway is a game changer for Assam's economy. Which three countries does this highway primarily connect? Trilateral highway. Big Bharat, that is Assam's economy corner. Indo-Bhutan, China. I think this Indo-Myanmar, Thailand. Indo-Bangladesh, Myanmar. Indo-Nepal, Bhutan. Bharat, that is Indo-Bhutan, China. China লগত ইমান এটা that is economy. Thailand to নহয়. B2 কাটা যাব Bangladesh and Myanmar. Bangladesh and Myanmar can be correct. India, B and D is not. Bhutan, China. Trilateral highway. Ito নহয়. A2 নহয়. India, Bangladesh and Myanmar. This is India, Myanmar and Thailand. That is B. B is the correct answer. Yes, B. Bangladesh logot banna khai. But Myanmar logot or Thailand logot, okay. This is India, Myanmar, Thailand. That is IMT trilateral highway is essential for the ACT policy. Yes, ACT policy. No, Assam or India. It connects More, India. More is in India and More to Mesot, Thailand via Myanmar. Okay, More to Mesot, Thailand's Mesot. And in Assam, that is More to Mizoram, Manipur asile Mizoram asile hotai. Manipur, Mizoram. Okay, 2026 significance in 2026 strategic update emphasizes finishing the bridges segment in Myanmar to allow Assam's goods to reach Bangkok by road. Okay, that is finished the bridges segment in Myanmar to allow Assam's goods to reach Bangkok by road. Okay, Bangkok by road. Thailand, Bangkok, no, Bangkok or Mesot. 45. The Kelmoharan initiative introduced indigenous games in its 2.0 version 2025 to 26. Which of the following is an indigenous traditional game of Assam included in this initiative? The Kelmoharan initiative introduced indigenous games in its 2.0 version 25-26. Which of the following is an indigenous traditional game of Assam? And this initiative traditional game Kho. How go do? That is Gatka Balam Kali. Khel Moharanot. Gatka Balam Kali. It's Nazano de Kho Hobolade. Khel Moharanot A did you? At how go do? So full. How go to Khel Moharanot include question? How go to is a traditional form of kabaddi native to rural Assam. How to Amizanu, how Kilsman, how Kurizabolage. Well, Kho is national, Kho to national. How go to Gudu Bully to Nasano measures how bully kilo, how bully Janu. হাও খেলা ডাং খেলা ঠিক তেনেকুৱা represents the local cultural heritage of the state. Other options Gatka, that is Punjab, Balamkali, that is Kerala. Gatka to Punjab or Balamkali to Kerala. Okay. Which article of the Indian Constitution was in news in 2025 to 26 regarding the subcategorization of scheduled caste? Scheduled caste are categorized koribo. OSC categorized by state governments. Okay, answer to me. Focus corner. Article 341, 371, 164, Article 44. Subcategorization of scheduled caste. That is 44 to not possible. Article 371 to ST है ST माने 341 होगा A होगा. Yes, A is the correct answer. এটা guess or course আছে মাত্র 341 আছে না subcategorization of SC scheduled caste. A landmark Supreme Court ruling and subsequent 25-26 policy discussions allowed states to subcategorize that is scheduled caste under Article 341 to ensure that more backward groups within the SC category get better access to reservations. This is highly relevant for the diverse social structure of Assam. 47. In the context of science and tech, Project Kusha, which achieved a major milestone in January 2026, refers to Project Kusha, that is India's indigenous long-range surface-to-air missile deep sea mining AI-based crop mission to all over south of the moon. That is missile long-range surface-to-air missile. That is indigenous. Okay, Kusha. That is Project Kusha. That is A. Yes, A is the correct answer. Project Kusha is the DRDO project aimed at developing an indigenous air defense system similar to the S-400. S-400 itu Russia bra nasli no na Japan France bra to S-400 to Russia no na France. I think Russia capable of detecting and destroying enemy itu Russia hoy enemy projectiles up to 350 kilometer away. National Food Security Act beneficiaries in Assam will receive subsidized salt and sugar under which 2025-26 budget announcement. That is National Food Security Act. Beneficiaries in Assam will receive subsidized salt and sugar under which 2025-26 budget announcement. That is Unodayot and Nasraksha Abhiyan Nutrition Security Initiative, Chief Minister's Food Security Scheme. Nasraksha Abhiyan to 9. Subsidized salt and sugar. Chief Minister's Food Security Scheme. ये होगा CM FSCS. Nutrition Security Anna Suraksha Abhiyan. That is I think CM में लिखे ना सब क्षेत्रों ते होते. So D होगा. Yes D. কিবা এটা হেৰি কৰিলে খালি CM খালি PM সেইবিলাকে আৰু না কিবা এটা ইনিচিয়েটিভ হেৰি কৰিলে ইনিচিয়েটিভ নহয় স্কিম. So CM Food Security Scheme, that is মিঠাতেল sugar নিমখ আৰু চেনি মিঠাতেলো দিব বোলে নাজানো কি কৰে. That some government allocated that is 370 crore in the 25-26 budget to provide masoor dal, sugar and salt. Itu dise 370 crore হৈ কৰিছে ন masoor দালি দিছে আৰু কিবা কৈছে নে আৰু নিমখ subsidized rights to NFSA, that is National Food Security এইটো Security Act, okay. Cardholders to tackle ration card, no? National Food Security Act card holder ration card to tackle hidden hunger and or micronutrient deficiency, okay. Who was the first woman from Assam to be awarded the Sungit Natok Academy Award? Sungit Natok Academy Award. The Pratibha Pandey Purwa hobo. Sungit Natok Academy Award. That is B. Yes, Pratibha Pandey Purwa. Golparia Lokagit. The legendary Golparia Lokagit singer Pratibha Pandey Purwa was a pioneer in bringing Assam's folk music to the national stage. That is tricky aspect of all legendary Pratibha Pandey Purwa's recognition, which that is watershed moment for folk culture in the state. Okay. 50. The Amrit Bharat as a station scheme. Amrit Bharat station scheme being implemented in 26 involves the redevelopment of how many rail stations in Assam? Amrit Bharat station scheme that is being implemented in 2026 involves the redevelopment of how many railway stations in Assam? Amrit Bharat station scheme. Amrit Bharat station scheme. That is 50 or 32. I think 32. Oh, 50 So 50 was the correct answer. That is Amrit Bharat station scheme. 50 station again include Kuribo in Assam. Approximately there is 50 stations in Assam. 50 stations in Assam include Guwahati, Dibrugarh and Silchar. Guwahati, Dibrugarh and Silchar. There's no that is 50 stations. Amrit Bharat station scheme Guwahati, Dibrugarh and Silchar are under comprehensive redevelopment and transform them into city centers with modern amenities reflecting the 2026 focus on infrastructure. Okay, as Guwahati, Dibrugarh and Silchar. Okay, that has a 50 Amrit Assam Assam Amrit Bharat station scheme. With reference to the Nithanpur copper plant inscription, that is which is a prime resource for the history of ancient Assam, with the four statements was issued by King Bhaskar Barma to confirm land grant originally made by his great-grandfather. The plates were discovered in the Sylhet district, present-day Bangladesh. No. It mentions the Karatwa River as the western boundary of the Kamrupa Kingdom. Western boundary Karatwa River. I think correct. 1 and 3 are correct. That is Sylhet district, Bangladesh. That is Bangladesh lot kyo jabote. Dispur bilagate pabo lage. Dibrugarh Tinsukia. So 1 and 3 are correct. That is 1 and 3 C. Oh. Sylhet district ote paisile. So all are correct. Bhaskaran issued this to replace lost records of a grant made by King Putivarmana. Okay. Issued this to replace lost records of a grant made by King Putivarmana. Despite being a record of the Burman dynasty of Assam, the plates were found in Nithanpur. Copper plate that is Sylhet is Nithanpur to Sylhet, present Bangladesh, no? Okay, আজি জানিলো Sylhet মানে Nithanpur to Sylhet আছে জানা নাছিলো যে It provides vital geographical evidence that the Burman kingdom extended up to the Karatwa River in the west. Burman kingdom Karatwa River western. Look asile, that is a different 52. In the context of international relations in January 2026, the Lombok Strait was frequently mentioned in strategic circles. Where is this strait located? That is Lombok in January. Lombok, Lombok Strait kundi asate. Islands of Sumatra and Java between Bali and Lombok in Indonesia. Malay Peninsula and Sumatra. Taiwan and Lombok বুলি দিছে Indonesia. সেইটোৱে হ'ব বিয়ে হ'ব. Yes, বিয়ে কৰিব মানে কি Lombok Island that is Bali আৰু Indonesia. Bali or Lombok in Indonesia. As part of the Indo-Pacific, there is soak point strategy discussed in early 2026. The Lombok Strait is a critical deep water route for large tankers and submarines that cannot pass through the shallower Malacca Strait. The Dubi copper plate inscription provides the earliest genealogical list of which dynasty of Assam. Dubi copper plate inscription provides the earliest genealogical list of which dynasty of Assam. Pala dynasty, Salstemba dynasty, Burman dynasty, Kosa dynasty. I think Salstemba dynasty, Pala dynasty, Burman dynasty. Dubi to Pala dynasty hobo lage, I think. Kosa dynasty hobo na lage. I will go for that is A. होले होल ना होले नहीं होगा. With dynasty of Assam, Pala dynasty. Okay. There was Burman dynasty. Burman dynasty wrestled Dubi copper inscription. Dubi kesle copper plate inscription. Burman wrestled. So I made it incorrect. Okay. Who would full wiggle? The copper plates were also issued by Bhaskar Varmana. They are significant because they provide a detailed lineage starting from Pushya Varman. That is Pushya Varman, Bhaskar Varman, the founder of the Varman dynasty. 350. Pushya Varman, founder of Bhaskar Varman dynasty. That is 350. Okay. Dubi copper inscription. Dubi copper plates. Question 54. Consider the following regarding the Bhasagarab status. Recently awarded the Assamese language in 2025 and its implementation in 2026. Bhasagarab status recently awarded to the Assamese language in 2025 and its implementation in 2026. Bhasagarab status recently awarded to Assamese language. Assamese is now officially a classical language. Yes, this is correct. A dedicated classical language center is being established at Guwahati University in 2026. To qualify as a classical language, a language must have a recorded history of at least 5,000 years. Komeo. To correct no hobo. Recorded history 5,000 years. Itu at least question no komeo. Itu no there is 1 and 2 only. Language must have question. It not possible. There is only 1 and 2. A. Yes, A is the correct answer. Assamese with that is Marathi, Pali, Prakrit and Bengali. Assamese I say Marathi, Prakrit, Bengali, or Marathi, Pali, Prakrit, Bengali. Classical language in 2024. The criteria set by Ministry of Culture record recorded history takes of 1500 or 2000 years, not 5000. Okay, 1500 or 2000 years or মানে history take লাগে no language 1500 or 2000 years. That is a mandala system of administration, which where the kingdom was divided into various mandalas headed by mandaliks. Mandaliks was a characteristic feature of which era? The mandala system of administration, where the kingdom was divided into various mandalas headed by mandaliks, was a characteristic feature of which era? Which era? Mandaliks. Era, Celestimpa era, British era, Mandal, that is Mandala system, Mandal. Celestimpa era, post-independence feature of which era? Erar কথা কইছে era, Celestimpa era, post-independence era. কেইটা মণ্ডলত ভাগ কৰিছিলে না মাণ্ডলিক চিষ্টেম ব্ৰিটিছৰ পৰাহে অহা নেকি I think British. আহোমততো মণ্ডল চিষ্টেম নাছিলে চলস্তম্ভ সময়তো নাছিলে চ' ব্ৰিটিছ চলস্তম্ভ এৰাতে আছিলে মাণ্ডলিক চিষ্টেম অ'কে মাণ্ডলিক চিষ্টেম চলস্তম্ভ এৰাতে আছিলে the Salstambo or Malaysia dynasty, that is 650 to 900 is Christ era, that is introduced Mandala system, which which allowed for a degree of decentralization with local chiefs mandaliks, that is maintaining autonomy under the king of Hadapeshwara. Okay. Salstampo, that is 56 West Indian state in January 26 became the first to implement a universal basic income UBI pilot for citizens living below the poverty line. West Indian state in January 2026 became the first to implement a universal basic income pilot for citizens living below the poverty line. West Indian state in January 26 became the first to implement a universal basic income pilot for universal basic income pilot to universal basic income pilot poverty line or to Assam হ'ব নেকি Assam did you no Sikkim আছিল universal basic income to Sikkim আছিল first implement কৰিছিলে Sikkim, which had long proposed universal basic income UBI officially launched a statewide pilot in January 26. This is a recurring tricky question as students often guess larger states like Telangana or Assam due to their high profit welfare schemes like Ornodoy. Okay, that is Sikkim region. No? With reference to the that is Borgao rock inscription, it is associated with which king of the Pala dynasty? Kamarupa, Rampala, Rotnapala, Indrupa, Pala Dharmapala. That is Borgao rock inscription, Brahmapala. Borgao rock inscription, that is Rotnapala, I think. B. Yes, Borgao. Borgao rock inscription, that is weighted to, that is Rotnapala of the Pala dynasty of Kamrupa. Okay. The Borgao copper plate or rock inscription, the Borgao rock inscription or the Borgao copper plate was issued by Rotnapala. It is famous for its poetic description of this capital, Durjaya the Invincible, and his military conquest. 58 Tezpur rock inscription dated 829 Christ era is historically significant because it contains the First, 829, that is Tesbur. First recorded mention of Tesbur rock inscription text on well pressures dispute over the use of river water for irrigation. The boundary of a bill is granted temple. The role of the first Ahom prince. First Ahom prince, Tesbur rock inscription note. Key likha say because it contains the first recorded mention of a text on well pressures dispute over the use of river water for irrigation. The boundary of a village granted to a temple. The boundary of a village granted to a temple. The arrival of the first Ahom prince. Irrigation water granted dispute. No, I think B or C. B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Current B to BC important na dispute about the use of river water irrigation. That is issued during the reign of Harjarabarman. Harjarabarman, that is Tezpur Harjarabarman, or yes. Tezpur rock inscription is unique as it records a legal settlement of a dispute between two parties regarding the sharing of water from a local stream, a very early river, the very early example of water law in India. Okay, the Harjarabarman is Tezpur rock inscription. That is there was a conflict taken the irrigable that is river water, okay, sharing, okay. 59 Operation Shakti, that is 2026, Operation Shakti 2026, conducted by the Indian Army in January 2026. Focused on Operation Shakti 2026, conducted by the Indian Army on January 2026, evacuating Indian citizens from conflict zones in the Middle East. Operation Shakti, I don't know. That is testing integrated battle groups in the high altitude terrain of Arunachal Pradesh, counter-insurgency operations in the Myanmar border, providing flood reliefs in Barak Valley. I think Arunachal B2 to Middle East, Amar Lottery, the testing integrated battle groups. Yes, operating Shakti. Yes, this is it. Mana eta operations in the battle groups testing here, in the high altitude terrain of Arunachal Pradesh. That is B. B. Hopefully, I think Operation Shakti 2026. That is B. Yes, B is the correct answer. This is a measure called START doctrine exercise in early 2026 and that validated the mobility and the firepower of the newly formed, that is educational Indian uh, group near the line of actual control since China border. IBGK integrated battle groups. Okay, integrated battle groups. Okay. The Karanghar at Gorgao, a masterpiece of Ahom architecture, was originally a wooden structure but was later rebuilt with bricks by Rudra Singha, Pramod Singha. That was Karanghar was rebuilt by Rudra Singha. Yes, Rudra Singha. Rudra Singha, that is B. Oh, sorry, Rajesh Singha built কৰিছিলে প্ৰথমে Rudra Singha বনাইছিলে I think পিছত Rajesh Singha rebuilt কৰিছিলে so এইটো ইজি আছিলে কিন্তু মই নোৱাৰিলোঁ পাহৰি থাকিলোঁ. Where the capital was shifted to Gorgao earlier, the current masonry, brick and mortar structure of the Karanghar, that seven-storied palace, was built by King Rajesh Singha in 1751. So, বৰ্তমান seven-storied is no. Seven-storied palace. Okay. তিনিটা stories under হেৰি আছে বোধহয় under কি ক'ব তাক under earth okay তলত আছে Question number 61. With reference to the doctrine of colorable legislation, which is frequently cited in Indian constitutional law, doctrine of colorable legislation, contains the following statements. It is based on the maxim, what cannot be done directly, cannot be done indirectly. I don't think this is correct. Colorable legislation. It is the competence of the legislature to enact a particular law rather than the motive of the legislature. It is primarily applied when a state legislature encroaches upon the exclusive legislative domain of the Union. List 1. Colorable legislation. Colorable legislation. The option কি দিছে যিকোনো দুটাটো correct হয় so we have to accept. It is based on the maxim, what cannot be done cannot be undone. সেনেকা নিচিনা হ'ল আৰু কি cannot be done indirectly কৰিব নোৱাৰে. Doctrine of colorable legislation. It tests the competence of the legislature to enact a particular law rather than the motive of the legislature. It is primarily applied when a state legislature encroaches upon the exclusive legislative domain of the Union. List. Three of all 3D. Yes, the correct answer হৈ গ'ল. কি লেখা নাপায়? This is the correct answer, okay. The doctrine ensures that the legislature does not overstep its constitutional boundaries under the guise of exercising its own power. The court looks at the substance of the law. It is if the legislature lacks the power to enact the law, it is irrelevant how noble the motive was. It is a tool used to maintain the federal balance of power between the Union and the states. Okay. In January 26, the global focus shifted to COP31, hosting to the recent compromise that reached between Turkey and Australia. What is the agreed upon arrangement? 26. Australia will host a summit where Turkey will lead the intergovernmental negotiations. Turkey will host a main summit where Australia will lead the intergovernmental negotiations. Both countries will host a summit at mid-party neutral location at the Pacific. The summit has been postponed to 2027 due to a lack of consensus. Itu answer to kena bisa semua itu COP31 hosting rights that is compromise between Turkey and compromise recent compromise reached between agree upon arrangement. এইটোৱে হ'ব Australia host কৰিব and Turkey will lead the intergovernmental negotiations. এইটোৱে হ'ব. Both countries will co-host a summit in a third-party neutral location. That is A হ'ব লাগে. Turkey will host the main summit. Turkey will host the main summit and Australia will lead to the intergovernmental existence negotiations. Okay. Turkey will host and Australia will to the international intergovernmental negotiation status COP31 2026. In late 25, early 2026, a unique compromise which shaped Turkey will assume the presidency and to host a physical summit with Australia, leveraging its specific ties, will lead complex intergovernmental climate negotiations. Okay. The Boreal Range in Assam acts as a vital hydrographic divide which two river systems, Brahmaputra and Barak. That is B. B is the correct answer, of course. The Boreal Range stretching across the Mahasau Mazarino is the overall watershed that separates the Brahmaputra Basin to the north, Brahmaputra Basin to the north, and the Barak or Surma Basin to the south. Tricky aspect why it is the highest range in Assam. Its primary geographic functioning exams is often led to this drainage divide. Consider the following statements regarding the Assam Industrial Momentum. Assam Industrial Momentum Fund announced it 25-26 budget. It was a corpus of 5,000 crore to develop world-class industrial infrastructure. Assam Industrial Momentum. Okay, it aims to promote advantage Assam 2.0 commitments. Assam Industrial. Ito ho lagi. It focuses exclusively on the tea and petroleum sectors to maximize existing strengths. Assam industrialization. Ito ho de. Ito ho petroleum sectors. Ito ho lagi. It is a corpus of 5,000 crore to develop world-class industrial infrastructure. To world-class tam to didile to entry to Karakovo, but it to world-class didile infrastructure, industrial infrastructure, world-class. How will I get it? Industrial momentum. Could get it? D. Yes. D no. 1 and 2 only it because it's tea petroleum to no. So it will be correct. To Assam industrial momentum to tea and petroleum will no, but it is a 5,000 crore development world-class industrial infrastructure and also advantage Assam more at promotional the Assam Industrial Momentum Fund is the state's most ambitious industrial post to date. That is maturation creator fund is designed for diversification, focusing on new sectors like semiconductors, electronics, manufacturing, and food processing rather than just traditional sectors. Or it advantage Assam kotha quality or petroleum matter no hopoto exclusively gusi exclusively সেইটো ৱৰ্ডটো জানিব লাগিছিলে মই অ'কে ভুল হৈ গ'ল Yandabu Monument which commemorates the treaty ended the first Anglo-Burmese war is located with present country Yandabu Treaty Yandabu that is located in which present day country India Yandabu Monument as ইণ্ডিয়াতেতো থাকিব এ হ'ব ম্যানমাৰতে আছে Yandabu Monumentটো ম্যানমাৰতে আছে সৰি ভুল হৈ গ'ল The village of Yandabu হয় মই বস্তুটো Yandabu Monument is on the banks of the Irrawaddy River in Myanmar. Irrawaddy River in Myanmar. Wow, Yandabu. Village has also the treaty profoundly changed Assam's history. The site of the shining is in central Myanmar. Okay, central Myanmar. বহুত কেইটা ভুল হৈ গ'ল and statutory liquidity ratio (SLR). Statutory liquidity ratio requirements updated by RBI in early 2026, which of the public and banks now include to meet their targets. Investment in sovereign green bonds, gold reserves, lending, private lockers, that is corporate bonds, Maradona companies, physical land assets of the government, investment liquidity, and sovereign gold bonds. Statutory liquidity ratio, gold reserves held in private lockers, investment in sovereign green bonds, corporate bonds of Maradona companies, physical land assets of the bank. Liquidity ratio, physical. That is A. Yes, yes, the correct answer. That is statutory liquidity ratio to boost the green economy. The RBI allows banks to classify investments in sovereign green bonds. Green bonds, yes, green economic bond, no. As eligible, that is statutory liquidity ratio, that is securities. This encourages banks to fund climate-friendly projects. The Dhubri Fulbari Bridge, which is expected to be India's longest river bridge upon completion in 2627, will connect Assam with which state? Assam and then Meghalaya, that is B. Correct. This 19-kilometer bridge over the Brahmaputra will connect Dhubri, Assam with Fulbari, Meghalaya. It will reduce the travel distance between the 2 points from 250 km by a road. Road 250 km হয় ন সেইটো বঙাইগাঁও হৈ যাব লাগে কোকৰাঝাৰ হৈ বঙাইগাঁও হৈ কোকৰাঝাৰ নালাগে বোধ হয় ন কোকৰাঝাৰ ক্লজ হয় নেকি তেনেকৈ ধুবুৰী মানে ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ পাৰ হৈ কিনে যাব লাগে সেইটো ক্লজ কৰি দিব এইটো জাষ্ট 19 কিলোমিটাৰ বাই ৰোড জাষ্ট 19 কিলোমিটাৰ জাষ্ট নদীটো পাৰ হ'লে পাই যায় ন নদীটো পাৰ হ'লে পাই যায় সেইপাৰ to Assam to Meghalaya. Okay. With historical figure of Assam in 19 kilometer over a river bridge, no. With historical figure of Assam is known for the quote, "My country is greater than my uncle." That is historical quote of Lasit Barhukan, no, which known relative negligence or duty. That is last. And the key question, which historical of some figure known for the quote. Oh, Lasit Barhukan, wait. That is yes. Lasit Barhukan. During the preparation of the Battle of Saragat, Lasit Barhukan found his matron uncle Momai sleeping. Tonizore Mama Hoy. Mama sleeping with a defensive mud wall. That was gore mud wall. Nikurukut Meke was incomplete to emphasize that national duty supersedes family ties. Okay, national duty supersedes family ties. He executed him. Mani yate eta concept আছে ন মানে আহোমৰ যি মৃত্যুদণ্ড দিব পাৰে সেই সময়ত বৰফুকন পাৰে নেকি মৃত্যুদণ্ড দিব এইটো নোৱাৰে ৰজাৰ হুকুম ৰজাহে পাৰে মৃত্যুদণ্ড দিব বাট ষ্টিল লাচিত বৰফুকন কৰিছিলে কামটো okay the great Moti Rao or global Moti Rao a term that entered the climate disclosure in late 2022 and 2026 refers to a Brazilian concept of collective action or communal work adapted for global climate disclosure, no? Global reforestation, a new type of deep sea carbon capture technology, global motor deep sea, and international tax on private jets, the migration of species due to rising temperatures in the Amazon. Ito নহয়. And international tax on private jets. A type of deep sea carbon capture technology. Ito A ho. Yes, A is the correct answer. Baki kita kono relation nai. Kono ita sense nai. Operating and originating the global Motorola, originating from Brazil, host of COP3, Motorola became a global slogan in 2026 to encourage community-led Barcelona, community-led climate resilience and local reforestation efforts. Okay, local anugule banabo lage na forest koribo lage reforestation. Okay. The reference to Mission Basantara 3.0 2026. What is the new focus area added to this portal? Digital mapping of tea garden labor quarters, a settlement of land rights for indigenous landless person in 15 days, conversion of annual patta or periodic patta for urban householders. Ito nutun ki state coercively. Tracking the sale of agricultural land to non-agriculturalists. Ito the Hovanware. Digital mapping of tea garden labor quarters. Ito Hovanware. Settlement of land rights for indigenous landless people. Landless people. Conversion of annual patta to periodic patta. Aha. That is B. B is the correct answer. Yes. Settlement of land rights for indigenous landless people in 15 days. No option bila क्यों मैंने इनके दिसे easy के accept मैंने easy के मैंने हेल्प करो पर specify करो पर क्या Mission Basantara 3.0 focus on the ultra fast track settlement of land rights for indigenous communities significantly reducing the processing time to 15 days for verified landless citizens. Okay. With reference to the Tobin tax, which resurfaced in G20 discussions in early 2026, consider the full estimates. Tobin tax G20 discussions early, that is Tobin tax. It is a tax proposed on all sport conversions. It is a tax proposed on all spot conversions of one currency into another. It aims to penalize short-term financial round-tripping and curb currency speculation. India has become the first country to unilaterally implement this tax on the rupee-dollar trade. Tobin tax itu option bilaksaw no. Tobin tax ki bostu hoise India bole prothom hoise no tax which resurfaced as G20 discussions. It is a tax proposed for on all spot conversions. Proposed on all spot conversions of one currency into another. It is a tax proposed. Itu hobo lage de. Itu correct hobo lage. So itu correct hole. It aims to penalize short-term financial round-tripping and curb currency speculation. Tobin tax. It has to penalize short-term financial round-tripping curb currency speculation. Financial round-tripping or India has become the first country to unilaterally implement this tax order. Unilaterally. G20 1 and 2 only correct hobo de A hobo. Yes, A is the correct answer. To what it herin hobo. থাৰ্ড নাম্বাৰটো ইউনিলেটাৰেলি মানে অকলশৰে ন অকলশৰে আৰু ক'ত G20 বস্তুটো অকলশৰে কৰিব নেকি So 1 and 2 are correct. The Tobin text is designed to stabilize exchange rates by making short-term speculation costly, okay. 3 is incorrect. While discussed to India is not implemented unilaterally, as it would lead to massive capital flight. It is really proposed as a multilateral global tax. Yes, multilateral. And Bakhor Bengena tree. Oh yes, Bakhor Bengena, our Assamut is located in Pukakhat region of Assam. Bharatas is historically and biologically unique because it is believed to have been planted by Srimanta Sankardev to mark the boundary of a Satra. One is not like yes, it is a 600-year-old specimen of a rare species Garcinia and is associated with Ahom king Pratap Singha. 600-year-old specimen of a rare species Garcinia. It is the only tree in the world. The tree কেনেকা হয় তো বাখৰ বেঙেনা সৰু গছ এইটোতো হ'বই নোৱাৰে It was the site where the first rebel council was formed during the 1875 uprising in Assam. One-toy হ'ব শ্ৰী শংকৰদেৱৰ লগতে কাহিনী আছে বিহে হ'ল শংকৰদেৱৰ লগতে নহয় এইটো প্ৰতাপ সিংহৰ লগতে it is a 600-year-old specimen of a rare species Garcinia and associated with Ahom king Pratap Singha. কেনেকৈ associate হৈছে নাজানোতে ফুল হৈ থাকিল Pratap Singhৰ লগত বাখৰ বেঙেনা type of Garcinia is a heritage tree in Golaghat. এইটো tree নেকি বাখৰ বেঙেনাটো মই এই যে জংঘলত কাটি থাকে নহয় এটা সেইটোৱে ভাবি আছিলোঁ এইটো নহয় তাৰমানে বাখৰ বেঙেনাটো বেলেগ গছ বোলে মানে প্লান্ট নহয় Legend says King Pratap Singh was impressed by its medicinal properties. It is a rare botanical relic often revisited in APSC cultural geography. বাখৰ বেঙেনা বহুত মানে ঔষধ লাগে Pratap Singhৰ লগত related 33 question 33 that is কি হ'ল এইটো question 33 কেনেকৈ হ'ল এইটো 72 জাগাত কেনেকৈ 33 আহি গ'ল ক'ব নোৱাৰিলোঁ দে The LUPEX mission that is scheduled for 2026 launch. It is just a joint lunar exploration venture between which two space agencies, LUPEX, ISRO, and I think NASA. India, Japan, Roscosmos. পাইছিলোঁ দেই পাহৰি গ'লোঁ ভালকৈ মনত নাই ইণ্ডিয়া আৰু ইউৰোপ আছিলে নেকি নে নাছা লুপেক্সটো জাপান ৰাছিয়া লুপেক্স মিছন ৰছকছমাছ ৰাছিয়া নহয় দেই ইণ্ডিয়া জাক্সাটোহে আছিলে জাপান USA ইউৰোপ তো এ হ'ব হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে নাই এ আনচাৰ লাগিছে লুপেক্সটো ইণ্ডিয়া এণ্ড জাপান ন ইণ্ডিয়া এণ্ড জাপানহে আছিলে বিহে ফুল হৈ গ'ল ভাই ফুল হৈ গ'ল বহুত নিগেটিভ পাই আছোঁ The lunar polar exploration lunar polar exploration আছিলে লুপেক্সৰ না lunar polar exploration জাপানৰ লগতে আছিলে lunar and polar exploration জাপানৰ যেটো polar region no mission involves an Indian lander and a Japanese rover or Japanese rover its primary goal is to explore the permanently shadowed regions of the moon's south pole permanently shadowed regions to search for to search for water ice. Okay, water ice. Summer Kurugan. 74. Consider the full statements regarding the Assamese Commons and the CI Tech recognition status. The CI Tech was granted specific for the handloom Kamsa. Yes, there are four specific types of gamasas recognized under the CI Tech production, that is Uka, Pulam, Bihuan, Pulam, that is B1 and Telos. Gitu, itu aman type asin ki kamsa. Uka, Pulam, Bihuan, itu Bihuan na B1 he dia ase. So itu incorrect hobo lage. Telos una naison. Ki telos, itu impossible. That is, and that's the attack prohibits the shell of power loom produced gamasas under the name Assamese gamasa. The attack prohibits the shell of itu to no hoy. Shell of power loom produced. Oh, power loom produce itu to hoy. Itu correct hoy de. Itu mixing not bana itu bihon bole kobo dia nai. Tatot bohato hai no. So only one and three correct. So for specific telos keneko hobo na. Itu no hoy. So 1 and 3 correct. That is C. Ki T2 hoi gol correct. Telos gamasas asana ki provide no. Bana silure. Or B1. Ki B1. The sea protection is a tool to safeguard and livelihoods of rural weavers in Assam against ship machine-made limitations from other types. Types of Assamese gamusa. Check কৰিব লাগিব মই. In the context of medieval Assam, the term sumua referred to sumua to manual labor to require exempt corona. It is a class of pike who were exempted from manual labor because of their specialized skills. Yes, this is okay. Okay. That is A. A is the correct answer. Sumas were a distinct social class in the Ahom system, unlike the country pikes who did manual labor. That is, Sumas held higher status and performed specialized or non-manual tasks, often holding land by paying a tax. Carpal often holding land. A manual tasks often holding land by paying a tax rather than through physical service. Okay. Which of the following is the state aquatic animal of Assam that is recently highlighted in 2026 conservation plan? State aquatic animal, that is Gangetic dolphin. Tortoise, mahseer, golden mahseer, Gangetic dolphin A. Yes, it is the correct answer. The Gangetic river dolphin that is located called Hihu, is the state aquatic animal. In 2026, the project Sihu was expanded to protect the dolphin population in the Kulsi and Subansiri rivers. Kulsi and Subansiri rivers would asek into Dihang river at Nai. Probably was like to accept no Dihang river. Subansiri Kulsi would asek. And men Brahmaputra. The Kessler syndrome, a term frequently used in 2026 regarding the Space Sustainability Summit, refers to Kessler syndrome, the psychological impact of long-term space travel on astronauts, cascading effect where space debris collisions create more debris, making orbits unusable. Orbit unusable is a Kessler syndrome. Itu hobo pare dei. যিটো স্পেচ ডিব্ৰিজ এইটো হ'ব পাৰে the depletion of the ozone layers and excessive rocket the failure of satellites due to extreme solar flares. I think Kessler syndrome, the psychological impact, space travel. এইটো ওৱান এষ্ট্ৰনটছ যিটো সুনিতা উইলিয়ামছৰ হৈছিলে দেট ইজ 286 ডেইজৰ কাৰণে 286 ডেইজৰ ডেইজ আছিলে ন সেই বৰ্তমান লাষ্ট ট্ৰিপত গৈছিলে তাৰ টোটেল মানে স্কাই ট্ৰেভেল ডে কিমান 806 এতিয়া ৰিটায়াৰ হৈছে অলপতে কেছলাৰ চিণ্ড্ৰমটো এইটো ডিপ্ৰেছ হ'ব অৰবিটত এইটোৱে হ'ব লাগে এইটো কি কেছলাৰ চিণ্ড্ৰম বুলি কৈছিলে এইটোৱে হ'ব লাগে দেই বি এ হ'ব লাগে য়েছ বি ইজ দ্য কাৰেক্ট আনচাৰ কেছলাৰ চিণ্ড্ৰমটো এইটো মানে ছেটেলাইটৰ ডিব্ৰিজ স্পেচ ডিব্ৰিজবিলাক মানে হেৰি হৈ থাকে অৰবিটত তেতিয়া মানে মেকিং অৰবিটছ আনইউজেবল মানে আনইউজ হৈ থাকে মানে ফুৰিব নোৱাৰে as more satellites are launched like Starlink, the risk of Kessler syndrome increases. This is a top priority for ISRO's project NETRA, Network for Space Object Tracking. ISRO, I don't know, NETRA too. Network for Space Object Tracking and Analysis in 2026. Okay. Bistarita Urnoday 3.0 2526 has introduced a horizontal exclusion clause. Horizontal exclusion. This means men are completely excluded from the scheme. Horizontal exclusion meant to exclude kora hoy, but it no yet. Households with a four-wheeler or are excluded regardless of income. People living in urban areas are excluded to prioritize rural poor. In urban areas, direct no. Government pensioners are excluded. Government pensioner bilok keneke hobote. Four-wheeler too hobo lage. Or refrigerator are excluded. Less of income. Four-wheeler থাকিব নালাগিব ন ৰেফ্ৰিজাৰেটৰ থাকিলেও মানে এক্সক্লুড কৰি দিব এইটোতো হ'ব নালাগে এইটো ডি হ'ব লাগে কাৰণ ৰেফ্ৰিজাৰেটৰ দামটো বহুত বেলেগ লাগিছে চ' ডি হ'ব বি এ আছিলে কাৰেক্ট আনচাৰ ভুল হৈ গ'ল মানে নতুনকৈ হৰাইজেণ্টেল এক্সক্লুজন কৰিছে ন house also with a four-wheeler or a refrigerator are excluded regardless of income. মানে যাৰ refrigerator আছে সেইটো higher class হয় তাৰ মানে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এটা কাৰণ এনেতো নিকিনে refrigerator আৰামত এনেই দৰকাৰেই নালাগে সেইটো এটা luxurious product হয় ন to ensure the benefit reaches the poorest of the poor the 2025-26 update 3.0 tightened exclusion criteria have been luxury assets like a car or specific high power appliances such as a power appliances now disqualifies a high power appliances now disqualifies a household automatically তেতিয়াহ'লে মটৰটো হ'ব নে নহ'ব মটৰ চাৰ্জ থাকে সেইটোতো নহ'ব হাই পাৱাৰ নহয় ন মটৰটো ডাইনামো থাকিলে হ'ব কিন্তু এক্সক্লুড কৰি দিব ডাইনামো নে কি কয় এইটো ডাইনামোৱে কয় নেকি যিটো ইলেক্ট্ৰিক মেকানিক কাৰেণ্টটো ইলেক্ট্ৰিক কৰি দিয়াটো ডাইনামোৱে ক'ব Dahutia and Dulia were specialized in kills. Close in the home administration was the primary duty of the Dulia group. Dulia group that is carrying the royal Royal Palanquin Royal Palanquin Tulia সেইটো হ'ব লাগে দেই সেইটো হ'ব কুকিং এণ্ড ৰয়েল মেনেজিং দ্য ৰয়েল এলিফেণ্টছ মেনুফেকচাৰিং গ্ৰাউণ্ড পাউডাৰ তুলিয়া যিয়ে দুলিটা কঢ়িয়াই ন দুলি পালকি সেইটোৱে হ'ব গান পাউডাৰ নহয় এই হ'ব ফৰ চিয়'ৰ বেলেগ ডাউট কৰিব লগা একোৱেই নাই য়েছ পালকি ৰয়েল পালকি দ্য ডলেজ উইথ দ্য পালাংকুইন বুলি কয় পালাংকুইন bearers of the royalty. The Ahom administration was meticulously divided into such kells based on specific services rendered to the king. Okay. With reference to the Eurasian Economic Union, Europe and Asian Economic Union, with which India is negotiating a free trade agreement in 2026. Which of the following is not a member? To member নহয় Eurasian Economic Union লগত Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Armenia. Russia লগতো হ'ব Eurasia, Kazakhstan লগতো হ'ব Uzbekistan লগতো হ'ব Armenia লগতো হয় নহয় Russia লগতো আছে 2026 ন কোনো মেম্বাৰ নহয় Armenia হ'ব আৰ্মেনিয়াৰ নামটো শুনা নাই চ' ডি উজবেকিস্তান নহয় উজবেকিস্তান কোন দিবা আছে দে এইটো ৱেষ্ট এছিয়ান কাণ্ট্ৰি হয় ন এইটো উজবেকিস্তান নহয় আৰ্মেনিয়া কাজাকিস্তান ৰাছিয়া সেইকেইটা হয় চ' Eurasian Economic Union consists of Russia, Belarus বহুত বেছি ধনী কাণ্ট্ৰি ন Russia হয় বোধহয় Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Armenia. Uzbekistan is currently an observer but not a full member. Okay. Eurasian Economic Union Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Armenia. Uzbekistan is the observer. With reference to the Global Biodiversity Framework Fund, which became operational in early 2026, consider the following statements. Global Biodiversity Framework. Global Biodiversity Framework Fund, which became operational in early 2026. Consider the following statements. Global Biodiversity Framework Fund, which became operational in early 2026. Was established to support the implementation of the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Ito wajan lagi আছে দেই Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. The fund is managed by the Global Environment Facility. At least 20% of the fund is specifically earmarked for indigenous peoples and local communities. Which is correct, we should know. Biodiversity Framework in early 2026 was established to support the implementation of the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. The one is managed by the Global Environment Facility.
At least 20% of the fund is specifically earmarked for indigenous people communities. Global facilities convene global. সেইটো লোকেলৰ লগত কি সম্পৰ্ক? সেইটো 1 and 2 হ'ব, A হ'ব। দিয়ে আছিলে। দিয়ে আছিলে correct, okay? No problem, negative হে পাম, কি পাম তে, no? All statements are correct. The global biological framework fund is a global biological framework fund is a major 26 milestone for conservation. Finance it specifically mandates that a significant portion of the resources go to relate to IPLCs, that is indigenous peoples and local communities. Indigenous people and local communities. Indigenous peoples means jati. বহুত ধৰণৰ জাতি না, and local communities na, who are the most effective guardians of biodiversity, heavily relevant for the tribal communities in Assam's protected areas. Yes. The Sumangkan is an sophisticated and elaborate date ritual associated with which communities. So Sumangkan to Dimash and Sumangkan missing carvest Dimacha Raba. Sumangkan Karbir Namiching Dimacha Rafar to no hoy. Solo Karbir missing Sumangkan missing ore hote missing jen lagi ase. Sumangkan missing Dimacha missing hobo. Karbir he asile Sumangkan. Ja negative side thak Sumangkan to death bar ritual asile no for Karbis. The Sumangkan is the most important festival or ritual of the Karbis. It is for the ceremony to honor the souls of the deceased. Trick aspect, it is not performed immediately after death, but at a later time where the family has gathered enough resources. Reflecting the community's deep social and spiritual bonds. Okay. Family one day, mritur bahut pisot aru setia family bilak dhoni hoi jay, eneka dhৰণৰ কথা আৰু। In January 26, the term Kwashimun what's in the news. What does this refer to? Kwashimun mane half moon, no? A large artificial satellite launched by China to illuminate cities. An asteroid that orbits the sun but stays close to Earth, appearing to orbit our planet. An asteroid that orbits the sun but stays close to Earth. I don't think this is quasi-moon. The unnatural satellite of Mars that was temporarily captured by Earth's gravity. The molten core of a planet that has cooled down completely. January 26, news. Kwashimun, a large artificial satellite launched by China, illuminate city that orbits the sun but stays close to Earth, referring to orbit our planet. B হ'ব পাৰে চাইনাটো এনেকৈ চিটি এলিমিনেট কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আৰ্টিফিচিয়েল চেটেলাইট টচ নিচিনা দিব নেকি? এইটো ইম্পচিবল। Satellite temporarily captured by Earth's gravity, natural satellite of Mars. এইটো B হ'ব লাগে। B asteroid আছে ন, stays close to Earth. Okay. B, come on, B. Yes, B. এটা মানে হেৰি হৈছে ন কোৱাশ্যন লাইক এষ্ট্ৰইড এটা আছিলে আহিছে যেনিবা 2023 that is FW Turin FW Turin are co-orbital objects. They don't technically orbit Earth. They orbit the sun. The sun orbit করে no করে, but their proximity makes them appear as fake moons. Proximity, fake moons. They are key targets for future deep space mining missions discussed in 2026. Oh, they are key targets. Oh, যিবিলাক কোৱাশ্যন মনবিলাক আছে নহয় তেনে FW Turin এইবিলাক that is space mining কৰিব না, deep space mining mission কৰিব, তাতে মাইনিং কৰিব 2026 নিউজ মতে ডিছকাশ্যন মতে। Consider the following regarding the Ahom judiciary system. The king was the highest court of appeal. That হ'ব. The Nyai Sodha Phukun was the chief justice during the Ahom reign. Ito হ'ব. Trial by ordeal, such as putting a hand in boiling water, was never practiced in Ahom legal system. Trial of ordeal, ito কি terms দিছে? Trial of ordeal, such as putting a hand in boiling water, was never practiced in the Ahom legal system. তেতিয়াহ'লে কৰিছিলে তাৰমানে দিছে যেতিয়া trial by ordeal was never practiced in the Ahom legal system. কিবা এটা কৰিছিলে তাৰমানে ন, হাত থৈ কিবা থৈ মূৰত হাত থৈ সেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ চিষ্টেম, শপত খোৱা সেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ জুইৰ আগত সাক্ষী কৰা, এইটো কৰা নাছিল বুলি কৈছে, মানে কৰিছিল। চ' 1 and 3 to incorrect হ'ব. That means 1 and 2 A. Yes, A is the correct answer. The king held ultimate power. The Nyai Sodha Phukun managed the daily judicial administration. Okay. Many like medieval systems, system did or occasionally use trials by ordeal, watch and divine test. Okay, Zuir Hopot Kwa and for one Hopot Kwa in Equator. When evidence was inconclusive. Okay, the Assam Semiconductor Manufacturing Policy 2426 was led to the establishment for a major, that is OSAT facility in Jagirot. What does OSAT stand for? On-site silicon assembly and testing, outsourced semiconductor assembly and test, optical sensor and aerospace technology, organic semiconductor and advanced transistors. To semiconductor outsourced on-site assembly, on-site silicon assembly, optical sensor and aerospace. Ito was here. B hole, outsourced semiconductor assembly and test. Oh, T দিছে ন লাষ্টত, টেষ্টটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আছিলে, আউটচোৰ্চটো হৈ থাকিলে অ'কে, ফুল হৈ থাক আপত্তি নাই। That is outsourced semiconductor assembly and test. Okay, the Tata Assam Semiconductor Plant in Jagirot is an outsourced semiconductor assembly and test. That is outsourced semiconductor assembly and test facility. It is a crucial link in the global supply chain where silicon wafers are packaged and tested before being put into devices. Okay. Which of the following describes the punch formula discussed in the 16th Finance Commission 2026? 5% growth, 5% inflation, and 5% fiscal deficit. to Finance Commission or no, weighted system for horizontal devolution involving 5% of for forever, a forest cover, 5% for tax, effort, punch, 3 times punch, 3 times off, 5. 5-year plan to double the income of the bottom 5% of the population in 5 states. That is none of the above. At a key question, no, 5% growth, 5% inflation, 5% fiscal deficit to Hubana like a weighted system of horizontal devolution involving 5% for forest cover and 5% for tax effort. Devolution, horizontal devolution, 5% of forest cover, 5% for forest cover, 5% for tax effort. B2 wasn't like a 5-year plan to double the income of the bottom 5% of the population in 5 states. To B over there, yes, B is the correct answer. Do love forest organ 5% and tax organ takes about 5%. And as of 16th Finance Commission previous its report in 2026, many states including Assam are pushing for a 555 or similar weightage for performance-based grants, specifically rewarding states that 5% of their area has dense forest and so 5% increase in tax collection efficiency. The Holong per given century is surrounded by tea gardens on all sides. Tea gardens as Holong per given century. I want to know. This isolation has led to what specific biological challenge for the gibbons. Biological challenge can no. This isolation. That is overpopulation and lack of food. Genetic bottlenecking due to inbreeding. Increased predation by leopards from the plains. Transition from arboreal tree dwelling to terrestrial life. Given to terrestrial হৈ যাব পাৰে ন যদি টি হৈ থাকে টি প্লান্টেশ্যন যদি চাৰিওফালৰ পৰা থাকে এইটোৱে হ'ব that is arboreal to terrestrial life. Yes, to overpopulation, lack of food, genetic bottlenecking. দিয়ে হ'ব genetic bottlenecking হে বোলে সেইটোতো নহয় গছত থকা এৰবৰিয়েলবিলাক কেনেকৈ terrestrial হ'ব নহ'ব এতিয়া বেলেগ কিবা এটা অপশ্যন বিচাৰি ল'ব but that is not transit কেনেকুৱা হ'ব নহ'ব genetic bottlenecking due to inbreeding. Because the sanctuary is an ecological island cut off by the states and the railway tracks and the gibbons cannot migrate to other forests or this prevents gene flow leading to inbreeding and genetic bottlenecking. Okay, which threatens the long-term survival of the species. Okay, বহুত মানে বস্তুবিলাক চাব লাগে project ভেদজ্ঞান Project Vidgan launched in early 26. Ministry of Electronics is aimed to using AI to distinguish between real information and defect or testing Vedic mathematics, tracking the migration patterns of birds, and finding fake beneficiaries in the direct DBT system. The Vidgan that is AI using AI to distinguish between teaching Vedic mathematics and corner schools, tracking the migration patterns of the identifying fake beneficiaries in the DBT system. AI hobo Vidgan distinguish kuro no. So A is the correct answer. That is, Project Vedgan is using AI to distinguish between real information and deepfakes. Okay. Vedgan meaning knowledge of distinction. Yes, is a 2026 initiative to deploy 2026 initiative to deploy deepfake detection. Deepfake artificial intelligence or video बनाए like when it take over no distinguish which is real or that is deepfake made kind of means data. Okay. Tools for the general public, particularly to protect the integrity of democratic processes. Yes. Who was the first home king to officially adopt the Hindu title Sorganarian, that is Sorganarian itu Pratap Singha Dhenga Raja Pamanikor, that is Susengfa Sudangfa no hade itu Dihingya Kor it is Suhung Munghe Hoy. So B is the correct answer. B, come on, yes, B. Is the Suhung was the Dehingya, sorry. Suhungmung ete Gorgoi Roja no, Dihingya Roja, Suhungmung Dihingya Roja was the first king who took the title, the Sorbanarian. Okay. Hindu title. He also started the use of Sakaira in the Ahom court. Suhungmung first, Sakaira, I'm going to establish course, the use course. The carbon border adjustment mechanism, CBAM, which begin its full implementation phase in 2026, is a policy of which entity, that nations, US, European Union, that is China, G20, carbon border to EU, carbon border adjustment mechanism, that is European Union, or that is B. Yes, B. The US European Unions, that is carbon border adjustment mechanism, imposes a carbon tax on imports like steel, cement from countries with lower environmental standards. This is a huge challenge for Indian exporters in 2026, pushing a shift toward green steel. With reference to the Guwahati Declaration of January 2026, which of the following is its primary objective? Guwahati Declaration 2026, January, to establish a common market for the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. That is a commitment by northeastern states to harmonize states' GST rates on tea exports. A roadmap of digital northeast focusing to 100% AI literacy in rural schools to impossible. An agreement between India and Bangladesh to increase dredging of Brahmaputra. Guwahati Declaration to know government northeastern states to organize state GST, common market for the South Asia Association for Regional Cooperation. A commitment declaration, a commitment by northeastern states to harmonize state GST rates on exports between India and Bangladesh to increase dredging. A, that is A. C has L. This Guwahati Declaration to key 100% digital AI could be. To key a roadmap for digital network and to digital northeast, focusing on 100% AI literacy in rural schools by 2028. Okay. In January 2026, the Northeastern Council, me, within Guwahati and signed the Guwahati Declaration, which prioritizes the digital Northeast 2.0 that focuses on using AI for education and healthcare in remote areas of the region. AI support दरकार है consider the following peers of Satra and their associated significance. Auniyati Satra, known for its traditional Palnam and the largest number of disciples, Auniyati Hotro Mazuli, no? Tukinpat Hotro, itu Mazuli. Historically, the chief priest of the Ahom king. Ahom kings. However, Najanati Porpeta Satra established by Madhavdev, known as the Monikut of Vaishnavism in Lower Assam. Itu to correct হয়. Auniyati Satra, known for its traditional Palnam, largest number of disciples. Tuksinpat Satra, that is historically the chief priest of the Ahom kings. Historically the chief priest of the Ahom kings. Tuksinpat Satra. All correct. Did you follow? No, that is the yes, this is the correct answer. Tuksinpat Satra, the chief priest of the Ahom kings. Hotro to can priest of opera, Mano opera. All three are major Ras Satras, that is royal Satras. Auniyati is famous for its strict discipline and Palnam. Tuksinpat provided spiritual guidance to the Ahom monarchs. Borpeta represents the spiritual heart of the Mahaprabhu tradition in the West. Yes, Muhammad Abdeb. Ponasil the Sukrayan one mission, which reached a critical testing phase in January 26, is India's first mission to which planet? That is Shukra. Shukra is what? Shukra is Venus, no? Mars orbiter 2. Shukra, that is Venus. That is Venus, of course. B hobo. Shukra, that is Venus. So Shukrayan, okay. B is the current. Shukrayan 1. January 26, India's mission. शुक्र ग्रह जब इमान गरम ग्रह सबसे गरम ग्रह है ना that is the hottest planet in the solar system. Explanation, that is Shukrayan one is Isro's planned orbit to Venus, orbiter to Venus. It's orbiter है तब ना जाए planned orbiter to Venus. Its goal is to study the Venusian, that is atmosphere, which is rich in sulfuric acid. Venusian orbit to sulfuric acid rich, and the source portions of active volcanism. What is the silver dividend? Silver dividend are term used in the 26th economic survey of India. Silver means what? Silver means rupa. Rupa. It's a very important here is दाम बारिक no, because it is important for many other rare earth element useful semiconductor. The economic growth resulting from the high silver prices in global markets. The economic potential and the productivity of the healthy aging, that is 60 population now. The aging generated India's first indigenous semiconductor chips. Profit generated from India's first indigenous silver dividend. That is revenue from the export of just that is A. Tsala. B whole silver dividend term 2020 economic survey of India. That is to correct question. No, silver dividend money hold the economic potential and productivity of the healthy aging 60 plus population. Economic potential, productivity. So incorrect critical, no? Itu silver dividend into the economic potential and productivity of the healthy. That is 60 plus population economic productivity here. এতিয়া চিলভাৰ ডিভাইডেড মানে সিহঁতে বেছি ইনকাম কৰি আছে তাৰমানে হায়েষ্ট ইনকাম as life expectancy increases the silver dividend refers to shifting from seeing the elderly as a burden to seeing them as an asset in the care economy and as experienced mentors. As life expectancy increases, the silver dividend refers to shifting from seeing the elderly as a burden to seeing them as an asset in the care economy and as experienced mentors. Oh, মানে 60+ যিবিলাক মানে এল্ডাৰ আছে ন সিহঁত মানে বহুত বেছি কি কয় এফেক্টিভ হয় আৰু ন ইকনমিটো বুষ্ট হ'বৰ কাৰণে চ' সিহঁতক আমি বাৰ্ডেন বুলি নাভাবোঁ দে আৰ এফেক্টিভ people in the economy. Okay. The Hemacos, the first Assamese dictionary was compiled by Hemchandra Borua in 2526. It gained global recognition for which specific region? Hemacos 2526 with the global recognition by say it was translated into 100 languages. Google, Germany, I know. Its Braille version was that is recognized by Guinness World Records as the largest Braille dictionary. It was officially adopted by the national. That is Braille B. That is B. Braille version এইটো বনাইছে ন হেমকাছৰ তেখেতৰে কিবা এটা হয় তেখেতৰে পুত্ৰ নে নাতি ঠিক তেনেকুৱা বোধ হয় The Braille Hemkas is a monumental achievement in Assamese linguistics and inclusivity. In 2026, it continues to be celebrated as a world record holder for its scale and detail for the visually impaired. Okay, who cannot see, no? Blind ones. Which article of the Indian Constitution provides for the special provision with respect to the state of Assam? Oh, that is 71B. It will specify somewhere 71B. That is B. B is the correct answer. 371B allows the president to provide for the constitution, of a committee of the Assam Legislative Assembly consisting of members elected from the tribal areas. Okay, tribal or here or no. Article that is 371A, that is for Nagaland. That is Article 371C, that is for Manipur. 371C is 371C Manipur, and 371G that is for Mizoram. 371G for Mizoram. 97, the Rhododendron Park inaugurated in early 26 to boost ecotourism is located in which district of Arunachal Pradesh? Rhododendron could say boost ecotourism is located in which district of Arunachal Pradesh? That is Tawangat Rhododendron Park. Ito Tawangat to nahobo 0 nam dafa Pasighat, I think Pasighat or 0 itu der ভিতৰতে হ'ব Which to they go Rhododendron Pasighatে হ'ব লাগে Pasighat D Tawangat Rhododendron Park Tawangat 2026 কথাটো এইটো পোৱা নাই এইটো Rhododendron Park Tawangat এতিয়া ভাল হৈছে এইটো চেলা টানেলটো হোৱাৰ পৰা বহুত বেছি সুবিধা হৈছে মানে অৱশ্যে একো নাই গাড়ীটো যাব পাৰে বাট চেলা টানেলটো বহুত ৰিস্কি আছে না চেলা পাছটো বহুত ৰিস্কি হয় মানে হাউলিটো তাৰ নেৰ মানে ৰাস্তা আছে ৰাস্তাটো ফাটে কিবা কিবি এনেকৈ almost 1700 17,700 something feet হয় বোধহয় এনেকৈ হয় Tawang is home to a vast variety of rhododendrons. The park is a rhododendron mani ki ba etu? The park is a strategic move to promote the high altitude tourism circuit in the northeast. Okay. In the context of the Brahmaputra Crackers and Polymer Limited, itu normally kota sini ke? Aku rasul news BCPL news in 2026. What is its primary product? That is event turbine fuel, liquid nitrogen for cold storage, polyethylene and polypropylene, that is polymers, organic fertilizers, crackers and polymer limited, that is aviation turbine, the primary no primary product. Polymer to নহয়, liquid hydrogen for cold storage, organic fertilizer এইটোৱে হ'ব নেকি? PCPL primarily কি বনায় এইটোৱে? ফাৰ্টিলাইজাৰটো নবনায়, নামৰূপৰ সাৰ কাৰখানা। ক্ৰিকাৰ নামৰূপ নে? এইটো মানে বস্তুটো বুজি নাপাওঁ ন। এইটো কিবা এটা কাৰখানা আছে, এইটো PPCL-টো নাইট্ৰজেন ষ্টৰেজ, এভিয়েশ্যন টাৰ্বাইন এইটোৱে হ'ব নেকি? এভিয়েশ্যন টাৰ্বাইন ফুৱেল ATF, জাহাজৰ ইঞ্জিনৰ পলিমাৰ্ছ, পলিথিন পেপাৰ বনায় নেকি? নামানেতো। দিটো হ'লে হ'ল, নহ'লে নাই। চিয়ে হয়, পলিথিলিনে বনায়। পলিথিলিন এণ্ড পলিপ্ৰপেলিন মানে কি পলিথিনে হ'ব, সেই ফুল সেইটো ক'লো ন। Known as the Assam gas cracker project, that is major petrochemical plant, ডিব্ৰুগড়তে আছে, নুমলীগড় নহয়, লেপেটকাটাতে আছে, পাহৰি থাকে, মনতে নাথাকে। ডিব্ৰুগড়ত আছে আছাম গেছ ক্ৰেকাৰ এণ্ড ক্ৰেকাৰ প্ৰজেক্ট, এইটো ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ ক্ৰেকাৰ্ছ এণ্ড পলিমাৰ লিমিটেড নতুনকৈ নাম দিছে। BCPL লেপেটকাটা ডিব্ৰুগড়ত, আৰু এইটো কি polyethylene and polypropylene, a process polymers which are the raw material for the plastic industry. Plastic বনাই ন। What was the first Assamese to receive the Gyanpith Award? বীৰেন্দ্ৰ কুমাৰ ভট্টাচাৰ্য হয় জ্ঞানপীঠ এৱাৰ্ড। বীৰেন্দ্ৰ কুমাৰ ভট্টাচাৰ্য কি কিতাপৰ কাৰণে পাইছিলে? মৃত্যুঞ্জয়, য়েছ। 1979ত মৃত্যুঞ্জয় লিখিছিলে। ৰেশম গোস্বামীও পাইছিলে 2000ত, আৰু নীলমণি ফুকন অনলি 3জনে পাইছে। নীলমণি ফুকন 2021ত, ৰেশম গোস্বামী 2000। মামাৰে ধৰাতলৰ কাৰণে পাইছে না, সেনেকৈ হ'বলৈ, মামাৰে ধৰাতললৈ হ'ব বোলে। 100 number question, লাখপতি বাইদেউ। Which raised its second phase evaluation in January 2026 aims to ensure that every woman in a self-help group earns a minimum annual income of ensure that every woman in a self-help group earns a minimum annual income এইটো 1 লাখ হ'ব, ক'ত 50,000 ক'ত হ'ব, 1 লাখ হ'ব। That is B, yes, 1 লাখ। চ' এইটো কাৰেক্ট, লাষ্টটো কাৰেক্ট হৈ গ'ল। এতিয়া মাৰ্কছ কিমান পাওঁ, নিগেটিভো বহুত হৈছে। Okay, the term lakpati millionaire in the context of lakhs. Lakpati millionaire, bappe 10 লাখতহে millionaire হ'ব। In the context of lakhs signifies the goal of an annual income of 1 lakh or more. The scheme focuses on diversifying the income sources of rural women through poultry, that is weaving, and small scale manufacturing. Okay, exam is over. Now time to calculate the score. Okay, negative কেইটা হৈছে 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 37 37 মানে কি 18.5 যদি 37 হয় এইপিনে 60 63 কাৰেক্ট হ'ব আগৰ নিচিনাই হ'ব দেই কাৰেক্ট যোৱাকালিৰ টেষ্ট নম্বৰ 10ৰ নিচিনাই হ'ব কাৰেক্ট তথাপি গুণি লওঁ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 60 63 বাপৰে ইমান সমান নম্বৰ পাইছোঁ যোৱাকালিৰ নিচিনাই হ'ল আৰু ন এতিয়া 18 নম্বৰ মাইনাছ এইটো 107.5 হয় টোটেল মাৰ্কছ চ' আজিও চেম মাৰ্ক যোৱাকালিৰ দৰে 107.5 অ'কে থেংক ইউ ফৰ ৱাচিং দ্য ভিডিঅ' বাই বাই